Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Hokage. Naruto, I have God-level selection system and unified the ninja world. Chapter 61. In the room, Naruto and Chiyo's mother-in-law explained briefly, and then released the sealed Shozuru. Shuhei's face couldn't help but get excited when he saw Iluo. However, at this time, Iroh was already dead, so Naruto had to forcibly send Moritsuru into his body. After Shozuru was sealed into Madara's body again by Naruto, Moritsuru's chakra immediately filled Madara's body. Iluo, under the influence of Shuhei chakra, quickly reacted. After a while, as chakra wandered through all the meridians, Iroh finally woke up. At this time, seeing that Iluo woke up, Chiyo's mother-in-law on the side finally breathed a sigh of relief. Chiyo's mother-in-law knows better than anyone that the village needs Iluo too much. If the news of Iluo's death spreads, the village will face more than just division and power seizure. It may even be targeted by nearby villages, and then it will be really dangerous. Now that I'm Ira, no one dares to make a second time, but such peace was brought by Naruto. Looking at Naruto at this time, Chiyo's mother-in-law had a kind smile on her face. Speaking of which, when she first came out of the mountain, when she learned that Tsunehide village had requested Konoha's support, Chiyo's mother-in-law was full of joy. After all, in her time, Konoha and Tsunehide were mortal enemies. Once in the battle between two villages, countless relatives of Chiyo's mother-in-law died on the battlefield. Such hatred made her completely unacceptable to be helped by Konoha. But now I see that Naruto can let go of all prejudices, and even return Moritsuru to Madara. Chiyo's mother-in-law finally realized that in the years of her retirement, the world had been injected with fresh blood. And these fresh blood are destined to bring a different future to the world. Thinking of this, Chiyo's mother-in-law gradually calmed down in her heart, and the previous hatred was dissolved at this moment. This is, what place? Quote, Iroh slowly opened her eyes and looked around. When he saw his surroundings clearly, he finally sat up. I remember, I seem to be dead. How could it be here? Naruto-kun. Chiyo mother-in-law. Quote. Iroh stared at Naruto and Chiyo's mother-in-law with a puzzled expression. At the moment, all he had in his mind were the memories of the previous defeat at the hands of Deidara. In addition to eating, he was the golem of the outer way, and although he didn't know what that thing had done to him, he remembered it well. At that time, he was the most painful, the kind of pain he did not want to experience again in his life. Naruto-kun, are you dead too? After a moment of silence, I made a fragment of my own. Only at this time, Naruto put his hand on his shoulder and patted it gently. I love Ro. You're not dead. This is Sand Hidden Village. Quote. Naruto said everything that had happened before, and when he heard that he was resurrected by Naruto, Iroh's expression changed. For a while, I didn't know if I was happy or sad. He wouldn't express it at all. By the way, Shuhei. Iluo thought of Sand no Moritsuru at this time, although he had always hated Moritsuru for making him a monster in the village. But now when I learned that I lost Shuhei, I always felt empty in my heart. However, just when Iluo looked stunned, suddenly the voice of Shuhei sounded in my head. Hey, brat, you're too useless. Quote, I can't even keep my body. So weak, it's really a shame to give people pillar power. Quote, look at that kid next to you. He's so much better than you. Quote, I will also follow you like this, I will train you in the future. Shuhei's voice kept echoing in Madara's mind, and Iroh suddenly felt a little shocked. Moritsuru, you're not. I love Luo's face is incredulous, and when he is surprised, Chiyo's mother-in-law tells the truth. When I learned that Naruto did all this, Iroh was deeply touched by Naruto again. Speaking of which, Naruto is his only friend so far. And what this friend brought him seemed to be always trust. Arigato took more. Iroh slowly walked down and solemnly extended his hand to Naruto. Seeing this, Naruto couldn't help but laugh, and then stretched out his hand and shook it with Iroh. At this moment, the two witnessed not only friendship, but also mutual trust between the two villages. If before the two villages had achieved peace only by covenant, now it was by trust. This trust can even be sacrificed by the other party, which is enough to see how precious it is. Shuhei, don't worry, I will definitely become stronger. While shaking hands with Naruto, Ira also solemnly made a promise to the Shozuru doppelganger in his body. After hearing the words of Iailuo, Shuhei snorted haughtily and slowly hidden. Outside the room, everyone was already waiting a little anxiously. Just when everyone was worried about what would happen inside, finally the door slowly opened. The first to come out was Iailuo, and when they saw Iailuo, everyone was surprised. Obviously, no one expected that Iailuo would actually be able to survive. At this time, just when everyone was shocked, Naruto and Chiyo's mother-in-law also walked out. As soon as they saw Chiyo's mother-in-law and Naruto, everyone couldn't help but start asking. It's just that Naruto and Chiyo's mother-in-law have reached an agreement before, ready to hide this matter completely. In Naruto's and Chiyo's mother-in-law's opinion, this matter should not be known by anyone, and this can be regarded as a consideration for the safety of the village. So soon mother-in-law Chiyo stood next to Iroh and then spoke. In the future, my wife and son, I will fully assist my Iailuo, our Lord Wind Shadow. As an old-timer in Sunahide village, Chiyo's mother-in-law has a higher status than Kazekage. At this time, her statement directly explained everything, so the people of Cheyenne village no longer had any hesitation and directly chose to obey. At this point, the crisis in Cheyenne village has finally been completely lifted. Seeing that the village of Sunahide once again returned to its previous tranquility, Naruto and his group were ready to leave. And when Naruto and his party were ready to leave Sand Hidden Village, Ira, who was the Wind Shadow, also sent a big gift. At the entrance of the village of Sunahide Village, Iroh stood in front of Naruto dressed in a Wind Shadow robe. Naruto-kun, here is an agreement. In the future, our Sand Hidden Village will coexist in peace with Konoha forever. I hope you can transfer our thoughts to Naruto-sama. If Konoha needs any help in the future, Sand Hidden Village will definitely go all out. Aro said and handed Naruto the box with the agreement in his hand. Seeing this, Naruto also nodded solemnly at Aro, and then took it. Don't worry, I will definitely bring it. There will be a period after that. Quote. After saying that, Naruto and his group then hit the road and returned to Konoha village. On the way back to Konoha village, Kakashi and they were very cautious because of the lessons of Sunahide village. You must know that Naruto is also a human pillar force of the tailed beast, and now it seems that the Shao organization has also set its sights on him for a long time. So for Naruto's safety, Naruto was always protected in the center during the rush. It wasn't until the group rushed back within range of Konoha that they completely relaxed. It seems that the Shao organization is not following us. I think their ninjutsu that withdraws the tailed beast should have a launch limit. Kakashi was originally very worried that the Shoji organization would once again attack the tailed beast on Naruto, but now it seems that it is a false alarm. But Rao was so, Kakashi still did not dare to snub. In addition, Kakashi had already made up his mind that he would talk to Naruto about Naruto after he went back. In Kakashi's opinion, the current Naruto didn't look at all like the Naruto he knew. You must know that Naruto in the past was not as powerful as he is now. Kakashi felt palpitations whenever he thought of the ninjutsu Naruto used against Itachi and Deidara. In particular, Naruto's use of Susanoo and Tsukiyomi, as well as the Daimyo ninjutsu used when pursuing Deidara. These were very perverted even in the village, and Kakashi couldn't figure out how Naruto learned it. Naruto at the moment certainly didn't know what was going on in Kakashi's mind. When approaching Konoha village, Naruto's biggest thought was naturally Uncle Ichiraku's ramen. During this time out, I really haven't eaten properly. The food in the village of Sunahide was so scarce that Naruto was now hungry. So as soon as he entered Konoha village, Naruto decisively fled. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto-sama, I won't go there. Hehe, do Sakura want to eat ramen? I'll invite you. Naruto swept in the direction of Ichiraku ramen at this time, and Sakura couldn't wait to punch him. As for Kakashi, he didn't stop Naruto. Anyway, now in Konoha village, there are people guarding it, and it's not a big problem. In Hokage's office building, soon Kakashi came to the 5th generation of Hokage Tsunade. When he handed over the agreement sent by Sunahide village to Tsunade, Tsunade's face was already full of joy. Speaking of which, this is her biggest gain since becoming a Hokage. You know, Shinobi Village has only seen such things as permanent peace, which can only happen in dreams before. In the ninja world, fighting each other is the eternal theme. However, such a world has long been tired, and everyone is extremely eager for peace. However, the word peace is not so easy to achieve, and successive generations of Hokage have been working hard for it, but no progress has been made. Although it has only reached an agreement with Cheyenne Village for permanent peace, it is also a big step. Well done, Kakashi. I'll let Shizune reward you. Quote. By the way, what about Naruto's smelly boy, why didn't you come to see me? After putting the peace agreement away, Tsunade finally thought of Naruto. In her opinion, Naruto must be fine, this time it is not Naruto's words, there will be no such peace. And just when Tsunade mentioned Naruto, Kakashi's face couldn't help but show a solemn look. What's wrong, Kakashi, what happened to Naruto? Quote. Tsunade saw that Kakashi's face was wrong, so he hurriedly asked. Kakashi originally wanted to have a good chat with Tsunade about Naruto, so he quickly told him about this experience. However, when Kakashi said that something was wrong with the ninjutsu Naruto was currently using, Tsunade's face was also full of surprise. What do you say? Naruto was actually able to use the ninjutsu of Sharingan. How is this possible? Quote. I remember when the village was in crisis before, someone reported that he used a white eye. What the hell is going on here? Tsunade was also puzzled by Naruto's abnormality at this time. In his opinion, these two types of pupil techniques require the cooperation of chakra eyes and white eyes. However, Naruto did not have such bloodlines in his body at all, so it was impossible to use these ninjutsu. What shocked Tsunade even more was that Naruto could use ninjutsu for the generation purpose. You must know that Ikemem Hokage is Tsunade's grandfather, and since his death, no one has used his ninjutsu. It can be said that many ninjutsu of the generation are in a lost state. However, Naruto used this lost ninjutsu in this mission, which is simply strange. Naruto has indeed been very abnormal lately. But I paid attention, it seems to have happened since he met Tuan Zhang. Kakashi voiced his observations, and when he heard Danzo's name, Tsunade couldn't help but frown. Tsunade, as the fifth-generation Hokage, naturally knew Danzo's intentions against the village. At this time, she was afraid that Naruto would really get together with Danzo. So soon Tsunade issued an order, and the content of this order was to censor Naruto in isolation. Naruto-sama, wouldn't that be too much? Kakashi didn't expect Tsunade to give such an order at all. But if you think about it, it's really necessary. After all, Naruto is a special existence for the village, and if he can't know Naruto well, the consequences will be unimaginable. And just as Tsunade gave the order to investigate Naruto, in the headquarters of the Root organization on the other side, Danzo's face was gloomy. Earlier, when Naruto left the village, he had gone to stop it. However, the final result was that it was sealed by Naruto. Fortunately, Danzo arranged a way back, which was when Naruto and they left, he released himself from Seal Lee. At this moment, when he learned that Naruto had returned to the village, Danzo began to move again. In the forest behind Hokage Rock in Konoha village, Danzo landed on a boulder with several members of the Root organization. And at the moment they just fell, a giant snake suddenly appeared in Tuan Zhang's field of vision. Seeing the giant snake, Tuan Zhang waved his hand, and his subordinates immediately disappeared in place. After his subordinates left, the giant snake finally opened its mouth, and the next moment the figure of the medicine master pocket jumped out of the snake's mouth. Gee, Master Tuanzo, I don't know what you called me for. Isn't it trying to arrest me and go back to the village? Yakushi is always vigilant, and in his opinion, Tuanzo is an extremely dangerous figure. If it weren't for the big snake pill asking him to see what kind of trick Tuanzo was playing, he would definitely not appear here. Looking at the medicine master pocket from afar, Tuan Zhang couldn't help but snort coldly. HMPH, catch you, do you deserve it too? Quote, if it's a big snake pill, it might be worth my shot, but forget about a small character like you. Tuan Zhang obviously couldn't look at the medicine master pocket in front of him, in his eyes, this was just a defector. Such a role is not worth doing by yourself at all. Tuan Zhang's contempt for the medicine master made the originally arrogant medicine master very unhappy. However, the medicine master is a smart person, he knows that he is not Tuan Zhang's opponent at all now, so he chooses to admit it. But in fact, in his heart, he had already scolded Tuan Zhang more than 800 times. Old thing, when I learn all the true legends of Lord Orochimaru, I will definitely use you as an experiment. The medicine master thought to himself, but still smiled on the surface. Hee, Master Tuanzang shouldn't have asked me to quarrel. If it's just a quarrel, then I won't be accompanied. Yakushi didn't want to stop longer, after all, this was the scope of Konoha village. Once discovered by Konoha's patrolling ninjas, it will be troublesome for himself. However, just as the medicine master retreated, Tuanzang sneered. Oh, my people have already controlled this area, no one will come. Tuanzang couldn't help but look at the medicine master pocket as he spoke, and at this time, the medicine master pocket suddenly had a sense of foreboding. However, just when Yakushi thought that he had been surrounded by Danzo, Danzo turned his head to look at Konoha village. Hey, I called you here to let you talk to Orochimaru, I want to cooperate with him. Isn't he also interested in Naruto? Together, we can strike and take Naruto out of the village. Quote. At that time, we will each take what we need. Of course, the big snake pill can also doubt the sincerity of my cooperation. But after this village, there is no such shop. Tuanzang decisively said the reason why he was looking for the big snake pill at this time, and for Tuanzang's words, the medicine master was also very shocked after listening to it. You must know that Tuanzang represents the most stubborn faction in the village. In order to protect the safety of the village, Tuanzo can even sacrifice anyone. No matter what means are used, Tuanzang will carry out his protection of the village. However, it was such a person who wanted to make a move on Naruto, which was simply unreasonable. You must know that Naruto is a big killer in the village, and the name of the Nine Tails has almost been heard by a ninja. Now the regiment commander actually wants to make a move on the big killer of this village, which is simply incredible. However, just when the medicine master suspected the purpose of Tuanzang's cooperation, Tuanzang spoke again. Orochimaru cannot cooperate with me, but Naruto I must take it. Plus I have other helpers. Whether he comes or not depends on his own decision. Quote. Okay, you can roll. Tuanzang decisively disappeared in place after speaking, until this time the medicine master was a little confused. However, he soon brought back Tuanzo's intention to cooperate and reported it to Orochimaru. Just as Danzo was plotting to cooperate with Orochimaru to deal with Naruto, Naruto had just come out of the ramen shop. Because he hadn't eaten ramen for a long time, Naruto ate 5 or 6 bowls this time. Walking down the streets of Konoha with a full burp at this time, Naruto felt extremely comfortable. However, just as Naruto was about to go back to sleep well, the ninjas of the village began to move. Kakashi was already carrying Hokage's order at this time, and rushed towards Naruto's location with several colleagues. Just as Naruto turned the corner and was about to reach his home, Kakashi suddenly appeared in front of him. Wow, Kakashi-sensei, you scared me. Quote. Why did you suddenly appear at my doorstep? Is there a new task? Quote. That old woman is also too capable of oppressing people, but I just came back. Naruto was a little upset. After all, they had just returned from Sand Hidden Village, and they didn't even have time to rest. And just as Naruto complained about Tsunade, Kakashi couldn't help but sigh. At least the current Naruto is no different from the Naruto he knows. But thinking of the ninjutsu Naruto used, Kakashi stepped forward and pressed Naruto's neck. Take more. Naruto-sama, let us take you there. Quote. Kakashi jumped up as he spoke, and Naruto was picked up by him like a chicken. Hey, Kakashi-sensei, what is this doing? Put me down. Quote. Naruto struggled, but after a while, he was taken to an interrogation room in the dark section. Sitting opposite at this time was none other than the 5th generation Hokage Tsunade. At the sight of Tsunade, Naruto couldn't help but shout. Old woman, what the hell are you doing? Why did you bring me here? Here, if I'm not mistaken, it should be the dark part, right? Naruto had a sense of foreboding at this time. After all, this dark part was not an ordinary place. And just as Naruto questioned Tsunade, Tsunade walked directly over and punched Naruto in the head. Naruto, you guy, what secret is hidden? Quote, must say it today. This is a review of you, you have to treat it well. Tsunade explained simply, and Naruto couldn't help but be stunned after hearing this. Censorship. What's wrong with me? Quote, what do you mean, old woman? Naruto obviously didn't quite understand why he was censoring himself. And just when Naruto looked questioning, Tsunade finally mentioned Naruto's previous use of ninjutsu. Why do you use the ninjutsu of the Uchiha clan? And the white eyes before? How can ordinary people use these ninjutsu? Quote, what the hell is going on here? Naruto, you absolutely can't hide it, understand? Quote, Tsunade's face was so serious at this time that Naruto had to become serious as well. In fact, Naruto had known for a long time that sooner or later there would be this calamity. If you can't make up a good explanation, I'm afraid I'll have a lot of trouble in the future. But he couldn't tell them about the system, so Naruto was also a little embarrassed at this time. To be honest, Naruto really hadn't figured out how to explain these things. The previous excuse is definitely not good, and no matter how much the 3 generations remain, they can't leave the ninjutsu of the Uchiha clan. There is also the ninjutsu of the Senju clan, and no one can use it. It's a big problem to explain these problems. However, just when Naruto was a little worried, Kakashi suddenly mentioned Danzo. Hearing Danzo's name, Naruto suddenly had an idea. Naruto was well aware that Danzo had been studying the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan in private. And he also transplanted the Sharingan into himself before, and he still has the cells of the Senju family in his hands. Thinking of this, Naruto couldn't help but come to an idea. Ahem, okay, I said it's not okay. Old lady Tsunade, these are the ninjutsu I learned from Danzo. That old guy in Tuanzang has a base where he hides a lot of these things. Naruto's pot can be said to be quite perfect, who let Danzo be so mysterious in private. No one knew about that root organization, so after hearing Naruto's words, Tsunade couldn't help but frown. As the 5th generation of Hokage, Tsunade has access to Konoha village on the bright side. And for Tuanzo and his root organization, as well as the dark part, many local Tsunade cannot intervene. Even the information in these places is not transparent, which makes Tsunade very unhappy. Zhang Zhong wanted to talk to Tuanzang, but that old fellow's stubbornness was not something that anyone could bear. After several times of talking, Tsunade didn't bother to take care of the organization's affairs. Now hearing Naruto's words, Tsunade suddenly smelled a hint of danger. Is Danzo actually studying these ninjutsu in secret? How dare he do this, not afraid that the Hyuga clan will trouble him? Tsunade was clearly full of opinions about Danzo doing this, and relatively speaking, she accepted Naruto's statement at this time. It seemed to her that Naruto really had no other channel to access these ninjutsu. Although there is a special place in the village to store those forbidden arts, many things are not so easy to learn. So after some deliberation, Tsunade had to adopt Naruto's statement. And the censorship of Naruto can only end there. However, Danzo and his root organization were completely worried about Tsunade at the moment. What the hell is this group hiding? It seems that it is necessary to check it. Tsunade didn't like the feeling of being kept in the dark, so he soon announced his investigation into Danzo. And Naruto finally breathed a long sigh of relief after being imitated. It seems that when you use some more powerful ninjutsu in the future, you still have to do some disguise. Otherwise, if you show your stuffing again, it will be difficult to do. By the way, the previous mission seems to have rewarded super illusions. This can be used. Quote, in Naruto's opinion, if there was any more battle next time, it was best to let the people around him fall into illusion before that. Once they fall into illusion, then they will not see themselves using some forbidden ninjutsu and other ninjutsu. This will not only save you a lot of trouble, but also dedicate yourself to the battle, which is the best of both worlds. Soon, after Naruto was released, he returned to his place and slept beautifully. This sleep went straight to the next day, and by the time I woke up, it was close to noon. And just as Naruto was about to go out to forage, a large number of unknown ninjas suddenly appeared on the outskirts of Konoha village. Upon discovering these ninjas of unknown origin, Konoha village quickly went on alert. Why are there so few people on the streets today? Quote, I can't see anyone. Naruto walked down the street, looking at the somewhat empty street, and couldn't help but wonder. And just when Naruto was wondering, suddenly a shuriken flew towards him. Lang Budding was secretly put cold arrows, Naruto couldn't help frowning. The next moment, I saw Naruto throw it casually, and a kunai flew out, directly intercepting the shuriken. What man? Naruto looked warily in the direction where the shuriken flew from. And at this moment, a man with a root tissue mask appeared in front of Naruto. Looking at the man, Naruto thought of Danzo for the first time. Wasn't that guy in Tuanzang sealed by me? Naruto thought of Danzo, and only then recalled the previous battle. However, just as Naruto recalled the matter of the seal, he realized that the seal seemed to have been lifted. Apparently the Tuanzo guy had fled, and after escaping, he didn't seem to have given up harassing himself. Thinking of Danzo's old guy being so haunted, Naruto couldn't fight anywhere. Although he had made him carry the pot for himself once yesterday, Naruto still wanted to beat him again. So soon Naruto chased after the masked member of the Root organization. Seeing Naruto rush towards him, the members of the Nagan organization ran directly towards the outside of Konoha village. Seeing this, Naruto also chased out of Konoha village, but just as he chased out of Konoha village, a series of explosions occurred around Konoha. The explosion was very dense and widespread, which surprised Naruto. Watching those explosions completely surround the village, Naruto suddenly had a bad premonition. At this moment, the ninjas of Konoha village also began to pour out to investigate the cause. Naruto originally wanted to see what was going on, but without waiting for Naruto to leave, the man from the organization threw out his shuriken again. Apparently this guy didn't want him to leave, and Naruto couldn't help but frown at this time. This guy is deliberately trying to lure me out. Could it be that Tuanzang did some trick on that old guy? After Naruto thought about it briefly, he was still ready to go back to the village first. As for Tuanzang, he didn't bother to care. But just as Naruto was about to turn around, the man with the mask suddenly spoke. Yo, Naruto-kun, don't rush back. Let's catch up too. By the way, don't you want to know where Sasuke is? I tell you he's right in front. Quote. The man had already taken off his mask when he spoke, and it was only then that Naruto saw that it was actually Yakushi under the mask. At this time, as soon as he saw the medicine master, Naruto immediately frowned. What are you guy doing here? No, you're here, the big snake pill should also be there. It seems that you are coming at me. Well, then I will have a big snake pill. Quote. Now Naruto is no longer afraid of Orochimaru. Naruto's current skills alone were enough to wrestle with Orochimaru. Besides, there are really many ways to beat Naruto. So when the medicine master beckoned at him, Naruto decisively followed. Tuanzang can be subdued by me, but I can't subdue you. Wait, Orochimaru, Naruto thought to himself, and then decisively rushed towards the nearby forest. Inside Konoha village, there were also continuous explosions at this time. Seeing the chaos inside and outside the village at the same time, Tsunade had to take command himself. But I don't know why, Tsunade always felt that something was strange. It was as if these attacks, which appeared suddenly, had other purposes. As for what the purpose is, she can't figure it out for the time being. Do your best to check all hidden dangers in the village. In addition, except for the ninjas who stayed behind, the others immediately went outside the village to support. Tsunade gave the order, and Sakura and Kori, as well as Ya and Shikamaru, all arrived. However, at this moment, Hinata finally discovered that Naruto did not seem to be listed. Why didn't Naruto-kun come? Where did he go? Quote, Hinata muttered, and her words quickly caught Sakura's attention. Ah, Naruto's guy shouldn't go to reinforcements alone. Quote, that guy is always so reckless. When I see him, I have to beat him. Quote, Sakura was so angry that she rubbed her fists, but then Tsunade's face changed instantly after hearing Naruto's name. Inside, just as Tsunade was about to send reinforcements to the ninja outside the village, Naruto was not among them. This gave Tsunade a very bad premonition, so after sending everyone out, she decisively found Kakashi and Matkai. Kakashi, Kai, you two are responsible for finding Naruto and protecting him. You can't let him leave the confines of the village, got it? Tsunade didn't want anything to happen to Naruto, and after hearing her words, Kakashi and Kai immediately went out as well. It's just that when Kakashi and Kai set out, Naruto had already followed Yakushi out of Konoha village. In an open field dozens of miles north of Konoha village, the medicine master finally stopped. Seeing that the medicine master pocket suddenly stopped, Naruto decisively turned on the domineering appearance. And when he saw the domineering hand that probed the surroundings, he suddenly found that there were several people hidden around. Among them, the figure of Orochimaru was also listed, but what surprised Naruto even more was that one of them was Danzo. Unexpectedly, the two of you actually joined forces. That's right, if you are alone, you can't beat me, and you can only use this method. Naruto's keen domineering aura broke his mouth when he detected Orochimaru and Danzo. And when Naruto discovered and locked up, Orochimaru and Danzo finally appeared. Looking at Naruto from afar, after the two of Orochimaru and Danzo glanced at each other, they each found their positions and prepared to strike back and forth. Naruto-kun, see you again. This time I want to re-understand your skills. Quote. No, to be exact, it should be the ability of the Nine Tails. Orochimaru was the first to speak at this time, and in his opinion, Naruto himself was not worth mentioning at all. On the contrary, it was the Nine Tails in Naruto's body, and that was the most tricky existence. However, Danzo on the other side did not think so, because he had already fought Naruto twice. And in these two encounters, Naruto seemed to have won himself with his own strength. It's hard to think about how strong Naruto would be if he really unleashed the power of the Nine Tails. Orochimaru, I don't know what benefits Tuanzo has given you, but since you are here today, you will stay. Quote. Just so I can catch you and go to see old lady Tsunade. Let him handle you. Quote. Naruto was not afraid in the slightest, and when Naruto spoke, the group hid behind him and coughed. Ahem, don't underestimate the enemy with the big snake pill, this kid has now grown to the point of terror. I'm afraid his own strength can't even withstand you. Don't waste time, sooner or later the village will find out that we are attacking the east. Danzo took the lead in moving his hand as he spoke, and at this time, he saw Danzo's wind suddenly come and rush straight towards Naruto. Lang Budding felt the shot of Danzo behind him, and Naruto decisively sealed his hands. The next moment, I saw the Hao Fireball technique instantly erupt from the mouth, and it collided violently with the wind of Tuan Zhang. And when the art of Hao Fireball encountered the wind, I saw that Hao Fireball instantly magnified several times. In an instant, a huge fireball directly enveloped Tuan Zhang. Seeing this, Tuan Zhang cursed, and then used the excavation escape for defense. And when Danzo was the first to attract Naruto's attack, Orochimaru behind him also began to move. Ninfa, hidden shadow snake limb. With a cold drink from the big snake pill, he saw a big snake burst out of his body in an instant. The next moment, the large snake came straight to Naruto's body, trapping Naruto to death. Naruto didn't have time to react at this time, and his hands were already restrained and he couldn't move. And just as Naruto was about to forcibly break free of the large snake on his body, Orochimaru used the snake mouth binding again. Then in an instant, Naruto was swallowed by the snake's mouth. Apparently Orochimaru was trying to trap Naruto with this ninjutsu. However, just when Orochimaru thought that his ninja method could successfully hunt Naruto, Naruto instantly rushed out from the mouth of the snake. Looking at Naruto's intact appearance, Orochimaru couldn't help but frown. It seems that these little tricks of mine are ineffective against you. You have really become stronger. Compared to Sasuke, your progress is not a little. Orochimaru mentioned Sasuke at this time, and after hearing Sasuke's name, Naruto couldn't help but smile. Big snake pill, in fact, I can tell you a secret. You will definitely die in Sasuke, so now you are just raising tigers. Of course I know, you can't listen, because you are too conceited to think that you can control everything. Naruto said the final destination of the big snake pill, but where would the big snake pill listen? At this moment, I saw the big snake pill slowly take out the long sword from his mouth, ready to attack again. On the other side, Tuan Zhang finally adjusted and prepared to continue to strike. The two once again formed a pincer attack, seemingly giving Naruto no chance to escape at all. Big snake pill, I said, quick victory. Don't drag. Quote. Tuanzo slowly untied his arm at this time, and this time there were several more chakra eyes on his arm. Looking at those Sharingan, Naruto couldn't help but frown. Apparently Danzo must have accelerated his footwork in order to catch Naruto. And when Danzo was ready to use his strongest ninjutsu, Orochimaru stopped talking nonsense. Ninfa, Yagi no Jutsu. Quote, with the cold drink of the big snake pill, suddenly his body began to change. Seeing that the big snake pill changed from a person directly into a large white snake with 8 heads, Naruto reacted instantly. S-class ninjutsu. Big snake pill. It seems that you are going to get real. Quote, okay, let me try how strong your Yagi no Jutsu is. Naruto then enveloped his body with an overlord-colored domineering aura, and at the same time sealed a seal in his hand. The next moment, I saw Naruto decisively use the 4-elephant seal to deal with Yagi's art. In Naruto's opinion, ninjutsu like Orochimaru could only be fought against by sealing. After all, the Yagi Great Snake is too strong, and only by sealing it up. And just as Naruto was about to seal the Great Snake Pill, Danzo behind him had already activated Izanagi. The next moment, I saw Danzo suddenly rushing over, ready to attack Naruto. Just without waiting for him to get closer, Naruto had already summoned the doppelganger and prepared the Great Jade Spiral Pill to greet him. In Naruto's opinion, Danzo was not a threat at all, and it was useless to struggle with those who lost to him twice. Although he can now unleash more Izanagi, that kind of ninjutsu is good for Naruto to crack. At this time, I saw that the Naruto doppelganger in the sky directly surrounded Danzo, so that he could not touch Naruto's body at all. On the other side, Naruto's 4-elephant seal also directly trapped the Yagi Great Snake. Despite the strength of the Great Snake Pill, under Naruto's 4-elephant seal, the Yagi Great Snake was also very uncomfortable. I have to say that this time Danzo and Orochimaru's joint hunt for Naruto did not seem to be smooth. Originally, Orochimaru thought that by joining forces with Danzo, he could easily take Naruto. As long as Naruto is caught, then his research can be improved again, and it is not impossible to even obtain the 9 tails. However, at this time, when he really faced Naruto, he found that he seemed to have been suppressed all along. Even if he used S-level ninjutsu, it wouldn't help, which couldn't help but make Orochimaru frown. On the other side, Danzo was also burned by Naruto's doppelganger, which was obviously not an ordinary doppelganger. Each of Naruto's doppelgangers was wrapped in domineering, and Danzo couldn't completely eliminate them at all. At this time, watching Orochimaru and Danzo being suppressed by himself, Naruto couldn't help but smile. Ha, you don't really think it's easy to catch me. Quote, big snake pill, now obediently tie up and capture. Naruto tried to let Orochimaru see the situation, but at this moment Orochimaru decisively put away the Yagi Great Snake. The next moment, I saw him seal again, and then 2 coffins came out directly from the ground. Seeing the coffin appear instantly, Naruto knew that it was those 2 who appeared. Dirt rebirth, I will too. Quote, Naruto also made a seal, and soon a coffin emerged from the ground. And when Naruto used the dirt rebirth, Orochimaru couldn't help but feel stunned. Apparently he didn't expect Naruto to actually use this kind of ninjutsu. You must know that this is a forbidden technique in Konoha village, and the big snake pill also learned it secretly. Naruto, you can actually be reborn in dirt. How is this possible? Quote, but your dirt reincarnation is not necessarily my opponent. Quote, now let you see these 2 characters. Come out for the first generation, the second generation. Quote, the big snake pill snorted coldly at the 2 coffins, and then saw that the coffins were opened in response. The next moment, I saw the first generation Hokage and the second generation Hokage walk out directly. When the 2 Hokage appeared, they also immediately brought a powerful aura and instantly locked Naruto. But at this moment, Naruto did not hesitate and directly opened the coffin of his own filthy soil rebirth. You think only you can reincarnate the Hokage. Quote, come out, 3 generations of Hokage, 8 flying sun. Naruto called out the name of the 3 generations of Hokage, and Naruto did not have any suppression and restraint on the 3 generations. And in the absence of suppression, the strength of the 3 generations of purpose is also the closest to the time of death. It was the 2 Hokage reincarnated by the Great Snake Pill, because he did not dare to retain the feelings of the two Hokage too much, so his strength was much worse. At this time, seeing that Naruto had actually reincarnated 3 generations of Hokage Ape Flying Sun, Orochimaru couldn't help but think of the previous incident in his heart. In particular, the fact that the 3rd generation Hokage Ape Flying Sun had sealed his arm had always made him feel palpitated. Orochimaru, you guy, this time I want to seal you completely. Quote. The 3rd generation of Ape Flying Sun Chop was very angry when he saw the big snake pill. Apparently he is still thinking about what happened before. Teacher, I really didn't expect to meet again in this way. Quote. It seems that there will inevitably be another battle between us today. Because Orochimaru was very jealous of the Ape Flying Sun, he directly chose to let the 2 Hokage fight. As for himself, he once again looked at Naruto. Of course, this time it was not himself, and at this time, I saw that the big snake pill directly chose Psychic. Seeing this, Naruto thought that he was going to channel the 10,000 snakes, but just as Orochimaru's psychic technique pressed on the ground, a familiar figure suddenly appeared in Naruto's field of vision. How could this guy be here? Quote. After Naruto asked the 3 generations to deal with the 2 Hokage reincarnated by Orochimaru, he discovered that Orochimaru's psychic was not 10,000 snakes. And just when Naruto looked surprised, the guy who finally came out of the big snake pill laughed. It seems that the 2 are very embarrassed. That's right, the strength of this little devil should be difficult to deal with. 9 Tails. Of course it's up to me. Quote. The man smiled, as if he didn't put the big snake pill and Tuan hide in his eyes at all. Dried persimmon ghost mackerel, I didn't expect that you would actually cooperate with them. Quote. It seems that the Shao organization is really working hard to get me. Why, your partner Uchiha Itachi didn't come. Naruto looked at the dried persimmon ghost mackerel at this time and slowly spoke. It wasn't until this moment that Naruto reacted that Orochimaru should not use psychic arts, but teleportation-type ninjutsu. At this time, facing such 3 difficult guys, even the upper ninja in the village is estimated to be no opponent. What's more, these 3 of them all had quite strong combat power, and Naruto also began to beat drums in his heart. If you deal with the 2, there is indeed some chance of victory, but now with the addition of a dried persimmon ghost mackerel known as a tailless beast, things will be difficult to handle. I actually don't need them to capture you back. But I just don't want to waste time. That weasel guy has other tasks, I'm afraid you won't see him, but it's okay, take you back and you'll meet him. Come on, little Ninetails, shall you go back with me? The dried persimmon ghost mackerel licked his lips, and he was very excited at the thought of bringing the 9 tails back. However, just when the dry persimmon Oni was ready to strike at Naruto at any time, finally 2 figures landed in front of Naruto. Yo, the blue beast is here. Dried persimmon ghost mackerel, let me be your opponent. Quote. We haven't decided between us yet. It was Konoha's pale blue beast Matke who spoke, and he was very close to the ghost mackerel. In the previous confrontations, neither of them exerted their full strength, which was indeed a pity for Mr. Kai. And just as Kai greeted the dried persimmon Onamackerel, Kakashi also stepped forward. Orochimaru, if you want to make a move on Naruto, pass my level first. As Kakashi spoke, his shuriken was already in his palm, ready to strike. And when he saw Kakashi and Kai-sensei appear, Naruto couldn't help but feel warm in his heart. That's what companionship is all about. Originally, Naruto was still thinking about how to get out, but now with the support of Kakashi and Kai-sensei, he was much more relaxed. At this time, looking at the reinforcements that suddenly appeared, the dried persimmon ghost mackerel not only did not retreat, but became even more excited. Haha, my muscles are already hungry and thirsty. Exactly, it's time to kill today. Quote. The dried persimmon ghost mackerel had already shed hundreds of millions at this time, revealing terrible muscles. At the same time, Orochimaru and Danzo also stood with him, and it was obvious that the 3 of them were ready to strike together. Tuan Zhang, are you preparing to betray the village? Just as the 3 of them were standing together, another voice suddenly came from behind them. After hearing this voice, Tuan Zhang couldn't help but frown. Tsunade, you're here too. It looks like we have to get rid of you today. Quote. Tuan Zhang said that he did not think of anything, and their plan to attack the east did not seem to work. Originally, Danzo and Orochimaru had already planned to lure all the masters of the village out, and then hunt Naruto. But now it seems that this plan has been thoroughly discovered, and in order not to bear the name of the rebel, he has already killed Tsunade. So soon Tuan Zhang opened his mouth to the big snake pill and the dried persimmon ghost mackerel beside him. We can't continue to drag it on. If it drags on any longer, more people will come. Take Naruto with a bang, and get out of here. While speaking, Tuan Zhang had already taken the lead in making a move, and dry persimmon ghost mackerel and Orochimaru no longer hesitated when they saw this. And just when these three guys were about to fight quickly, the four people on Naruto's side decisively chose to attack. HMPH. 4 against 3, you have no chance of winning. Quote. Compared to Konoha's shot, you should have thought about the end a long time ago. Just as the three on the opposite side made a move, Tsunade coldly spoke. Soon, I saw Tsunade and Kakashi, and they chose to strike. As for Naruto, he did not hesitate at this time and launched an attack. Previously, Naruto thought about doing his best, but now that he had help, he didn't have to work so hard. However, just when Naruto and several people were fighting against the big snake pill and the dried persimmon anima, a figure in the sky slowly appeared. Gee, it looks like today's plan is going to fail. Alas, this nine-tailed kid is really hard to catch. But fortunately everything else went well. Quote. If you don't need to prepare the 9 seals of the Phantom Dragon, I really want to compete with this nine-tailed kid. After speaking, the figure suddenly disappeared. In the open space below, the war at this time was about to break out, and explosions were heard from time to time. Soon, countless potholes were also bombarded on the ground, which was enough to see the horror of the battle. Naruto also kept swimming between the dried persimmon oniko and the large snake pill at this time, unleashing a terrifying attack. However, these attacks seemed to be completely useless against the dry persimmon ghost mackerel, which also shows the power of this tailless beast from the side. Water escape. The art of the water prison. Quote. At this time, the dry persimmon ghost mackerel attacked the 3 people on the opposite side at the same time. And after his water escaped, Naruto and several others were soon pulled into a large area of water by him. In this water, the dried persimmon ghost mackerel is like a fish in water, and the attack becomes extremely fierce. Shui Shui Duan. The art of the great dragon bullet. Quote. The dried persimmon ghost mackerel seemed to be crazy at this time, and launched a crazy attack. Although Kakashi and Kai are not weak, and they have the blessing of Tsunade, they soon fall into the downside. No, in this water, we are not his opponents. You have to get out of the water. Tsunade also discovered at this time that the power of the dried persimmon ghost mackerel seemed to come from this water. Because the waters have a suppressive effect on everyone else, they have to choose to retreat. However, just as Tsunade allowed Kakashi and Naruto to escape from the waters created by the dried persimmon onimackerel, the dried persimmon oniko attacked again. This time he even turned into a shark, which was extremely ferocious. This guy's output is also too explosive. It's a tailless beast. Kakashi couldn't help but sigh at this time, but Kai-sensei on the side didn't think so. HMPH, he's a tailless beast, and I'm still a pale blue beast of Konoha. Give him to me. I'll deal with him, and you'll deal with Orochimaru and Danzo. Quote. After Kai stopped the dried persimmon oni at this time, he opened his mouth to Naruto and them. Seeing this, Kakashi wanted to dismiss Kai's plan, but soon Tsunade nodded. Leave it to Kai, he has the strength to solve it. Let's deal with Orochimaru and Tuanzo. After Tsunade finished speaking, he took Naruto and Kakashi and escaped from the waters made by the dried persimmon oniko. After leaving the waters, Tsunade and Kakashi also immediately locked Danzo and Orochimaru. But at this moment, Naruto also seemed to notice something wrong. No, that guy in Tuanzang is just a doppelganger. Quote. Where did his essence go? When Naruto found out that Danzo was not his essence, he couldn't help but frown. The next moment, seeing the domineering color, he probed the surroundings again. Gee, I actually want to escape. After probing, Naruto found Danzo's body. At this time he was fleeing in the direction of the village. Seeing this, Naruto also used the shadow doppelganger and followed. In the village, it was still heavily guarded at this time, but the regimental collection could be unimpeded. No one knew that this attack was actually carried out by Tuanzang. At this point, Danzo walked all the way and soon returned to his root headquarters. Phew, it seems that even if you join forces with them, you won't be able to deal with that kid of the 9 tails. Quote, now that Tsunade has also discovered my plan, I must not stay. As Tuanzang spoke, he decisively summoned his root subordinates. What he has to do at this moment is to launch a political ban. Before Tsunade returns, seize the power of Konoha. As long as Konoha has the power in hand, he has the right to dispose of Tsunade. And just as Danzo was ordering his men to prepare to purge the upper level of Konoha, Naruto decisively appeared. Ha, Danzo, what you think is beautiful. Quote, with me here today, none of you want to do anything to the village. As Naruto spoke, he directly used the sealing technique to seal all the headquarters of the organization. And after making the seal, Naruto decisively used the illusion technique he had just learned. The next moment, I saw that all of Tuanzo's subordinates had fallen into illusion. Seeing that his subordinates were actually completely destroyed like this, Tuanzang couldn't help but panic. Is this guy a monster? Quote, how is it stronger than ever? Tuanzo was already starting to get scared at this time. Tuanzang, I don't know if you have heard a sentence, it is called no more than 3. This is the 3rd time you've fallen into my hands. I won't let you go this time. Originally, Naruto was afraid that killing Danzo would affect the direction of the plot. But now it seems that this regiment commander cannot be killed. Even if it will affect the direction of the plot, Naruto does not want to leave such a scourge as him. Otherwise, I don't know what kind of big moves will be made in the future, and this time I even hesitate to cooperate with the Shao organization. It's enough to see that this guy has no bottom line. And just when Naruto was obviously murderous, Danzo really felt fear. Naruto, why do you have to go against me? Quote, well, how about I give you Hokage's place? In the future, all the routes will be prepared by you. I'll help you become Hokage. No, you can also become the leader of the alliance. Quote, Danzo tried to win over Naruto, but at this time Naruto was too lazy to talk nonsense with him. Soon Naruto chose to strike, and Danzo has already lost twice, how can he bear Naruto's strength? In less than a few minutes, Danzo was completely dead at Naruto's hands. Root headquarters, looking at Danzo's corpse, Naruto at this time also fell into thought. In Naruto's opinion, it would be a bit of a waste if Danzo died like this. So soon he thought of using Dirt Rebirth to control Tuanzang. In this way, Naruto could not only control Danzo alone, but even the entire route could be controlled by himself. Thinking of this, Naruto couldn't help but look forward to it. Although the routes had never been seen in Konoha, Naruto was well aware of the significance of this organization. With it, you can gather more information about the organization. That way, you won't have to be as passive as you are today. If you want to grasp all the movements of the organization, it seems that the only way to do it is to rely on the roots. Naruto also used Dirt Reincarnation on Danzo at this time. And when the rebirth of the filthy soil worked, Tuanzang finally slowly opened his eyes. The next moment when he saw Naruto, Danzo couldn't help but take a few steps back. You're dead. Now your body and soul are in my control. Quote, so you better not have any other thoughts. Otherwise, I will unceremoniously suppress your emotions. Quote, Naruto explained his current state of rebirth to Danzo at this time, and after hearing these words, the regiment leader couldn't help but let out a long sigh. As the most powerful behind-the-scenes man in Konoha village, he said that he never expected that he would end up in this field. And when Danzo sighed a little helplessly, Naruto couldn't help but shake his head. Why bother today? I've already given you a chance. Quote, okay, now you can honestly help me manage the roots. From today onwards, the task of the root organization is to concentrate on gathering intelligence on the organization. I want all their movements. Quote, Naruto was already well aware of the existence of the Shao organization, and their purpose was very clear. However, their movements are very mysterious, and this can only be achieved by the intelligence network of the root organization. And after hearing Naruto's words, Danzo nodded slightly, like an old servant. Looking at Danzo, Naruto couldn't help but worry a little about whether the plot would change. However, this was not something that Naruto could control, so Naruto quickly left these behind. In this way, when the root organization was completely subdued, Naruto rushed back to the battlefield outside the village. And when Naruto came to the place where Dry Persimmon Oni and Orochimaru invaded, the battle here had already entered a white-hot state. As a blue beast of Konoha, Teacher Kai had even opened the 8 gates of Dunjaw at this time. Under the suppression of Bam Dunjaw, the dried persimmon ghost mackerel did not take advantage in the slightest. As for Orochimaru's side, he was also scarred by Tsunade and Kakashi, and it seemed that he would not last long at all. And just when Naruto arrived, Danzo's doppelganger also disappeared completely. Seeing that there was one less combat power on his side, the big snake pill couldn't help but have the idea of retreating. HMPH. It looks like today's plan is going to fail. Quote. Don't waste time with you. See you next time. Quote. The big snake pill directly channeled 10,000 snakes between his words. And when 10,000 snakes appeared, the big snake pill jumped directly onto 10,000 snakes, and then disappeared into midair. At this time, after the big snake pill also fled, the dry persimmon ghost mackerel couldn't help but curse angrily. These two fools, they are really unreliable. It's still my partner Weasel who is the most reliable. Forget it, since they are all gone, then I will go too. Boring. Quote. Knowing that it was impossible to catch Naruto again, he also planned to leave. However, when he left, he still did not forget to look towards Naruto. You are my prey, sooner or later I will catch you back. The voice of the dried persimmon Oni mackerel fell into Naruto's ears, but Naruto was unimpressed. Well, you have to have the ability to do it. I'm waiting for you. Next time, your opponent will be me, and I will defeat you completely, tailless beast. Quote. Naruto responded to the dried persimmon Oni mackerel, and when he heard Naruto's response, the dried persimmon Oni mackerel was excited. There will be a period later. After the dried persimmon ghost mackerel laughed the last sentence, it disappeared directly with the help of water. And when these guys all retreated, Tsunade finally breathed a sigh of relief. In Tsunade's opinion, if it dragged on any longer, it was likely that the other shinobi villages would seize the opportunity. At that time, if he made a move on Konoha, it would be even worse. Phew, it's finally over. Quote. Naruto, follow me back to the village immediately. Quote. And Kakashi, you go to the Dark Division, pass on my orders, and carry out the elimination plan for the roots of the Danzo. Tsunade obviously didn't want the existence of the man-root organization anymore. However, just as Tsunade was ordering to destroy the root organization, Naruto hurriedly dissuaded him. Wait, old woman, I just went back to see it with a doppelganger. What appeared just now is not Tuanzang, that Tuanzang is fake. It was made by the big snake pill. Quote. Their purpose is to make us infighting, and we must not be fooled. Naruto pulled the big snake pill out at this time, naturally to preserve the root tissue. Now that the root organization has completely become Naruto's private organization, and Danzo has become a puppet of the reincarnation of the soil, there is no need to disband anymore. On the contrary, keeping them can gather more intelligence, so why not? At this time, after hearing Naruto's words, Tsunade couldn't help but frown. Orochimaru. But this root organization does have to take care of it. Tsunade, as Hokage, absolutely does not allow any organization that threatens the village. Although Naruto made Orochimaru carry the pot, she still did not trust the root organization. However, there was no mention of clearing the root organization, which gave Naruto time. In Naruto's opinion, it only takes a few rectifications of the root organization to justify it. Anyway, now that the power of the root organization has fallen into his hands, this is not a matter of words. At that time, let Tuanzang directly show loyalty to the feeling, then naturally there will be no barrier. Thinking of this, the corners of Naruto's mouth showed a curve. Konoha village. After this crisis was resolved, finally the village was quiet again. During this time, Naruto had gained a detailed understanding of the root organization. Shish, the root organization actually collected so many ninjutsu. Quote. Almost all the major ninja villages. It seems that you have not been idle all these years. After understanding the root organization, Naruto was also taken aback. Obviously, what Tuanzang has done over the years is really strange. At this time, looking at the ninjutsu and intelligence collected by the root organization about the various ninja villages, Naruto couldn't help but get a little excited. With these things, Naruto no longer had to worry about learning ninjutsu. So in the days that followed, Naruto almost locked himself up at the headquarters of the root organization. As for the ninjutsu of each village, Naruto also learned a 7, 7, 8, 8, and his strength has grown by leaps and bounds. And just when Naruto's strength increased, the other side Shao organization struck again. Konoha village, as always, is peaceful and peaceful. Naruto came out of the root organization and saw the long-lost sun, and he couldn't help but feel refreshed. Looking at Konoha bathed in the sun, Naruto thought more about if only time could stand still. Phew, the weather is so good, then eat a bowl of ramen. Walking down the street, Naruto went straight to the Ichiraku ramen shop. At this time, it was time for dinner, and there were many people in the Ichiraku ramen shop. When Naruto walked into the ramen shop, he happened to meet Ya and Shino, who he hadn't seen for a long time, and Hinata, who was shy at the sight of Naruto. "Yo, Mina-san, long time no see." Naruto greeted the three, and seeing this, Ya and Shino raised their hands one after another. "Naruto-kun, I haven't seen you for a long time, I rarely see you in the village recently. Isn't it time to hide and be lazy?" Ya is the most cheerful of the three, and Shino is only concerned about eating ramen at this time, and Hinata does not dare to look up. But just as Naruto finished talking to Ya, he suddenly appeared next to Hinata and sat down. Naruto knew very well that Hinata would be his wife from now on. And for this wife Naruto is still quite satisfied, so he plans to tease her at this time. "Hey, Hinata, why are you blushing? Isn't it time to see me shy?" Naruto deliberately said through Hinata's thoughts, which made Hinata even more embarrassed. No, Naruto-kun, don't talk nonsense. Yes, it's too hot." Hinata still did not dare to look up. Seeing this, Naruto smiled, and then pasted a big face directly in front of Hinata. "Really, is it really not because of seeing my heart beat faster?" Quote. "Nah, Hinata, I like to say it out loud. It's not good to hold it in your heart. It's easy to hold back unrequited love." Quote. Naruto continued to joke with Hinata. Hearing Naruto's words, Hinata almost choked on himself. After finally swallowing his face, Hinata didn't dare to look at Naruto, and his face was as red as an apple. I'm done. Slow down, everyone." Hinata didn't even dare to look up, so he hurriedly dropped his bowl and chopsticks and slipped away. Looking at Hinata's somewhat embarrassed back, Naruto couldn't help but laugh. Naruto really didn't expect that this girl was even more shy than in the original. And when Naruto joked with Hinata, the teeth on the side also teased. "Yo, Naruto, you kid has made people landless." Quote. "It's a little unkind." Ya had finished eating at this time, stood up between words, and prepared to leave. Seeing this, Shino followed, but when Shino reached the door, he did not forget to look back at Naruto. "Naruto-kun, you like Hinata too, right? Then I won't fight with you." Shino left directly after speaking. Looking at the back of Shino leaving, Naruto had a black line. He didn't expect that this guy actually liked Hinata too. "Ahem, Shino, Hinata is mine. Stay away from her in the future." Naruto yelled at the door of the store before turning his head to eat the ramen. And while Naruto was eating ramen, in Naruto's office, Tsunade was watching the report. "Did the people who monitored the group find anything unusual?" Tsunade asked Shizune on the side. At this time, I saw Shizune shook his head with a puzzled face. No abnormality was found. According to the previous report, Tuanzang did have something to do with the Great Snake Pill. But lately he doesn't seem to have left Gen's headquarters. Also, Naruto-kun has also been at Gen's headquarters. I really don't know why he came together with Danzo. The more Shizune spoke, the more strange she felt, because in her opinion, Tuanzo was a very dangerous figure. "What do you say?" Naruto mixed up with Danzo. Quote. "Is this guy's brain broken? Go and summon Naruto for me, I'll teach him a good lesson." Tsunade didn't want Naruto to mingle with Danzo, and in her opinion, Naruto was likely to be used by Danzo. What Tsunade didn't know, however, was that Danzo was now a walking dead. Under the control of Naruto's filthy earth reincarnation, Danzo is like a puppet who pulls strings. Even the entire root organization is now in Naruto's hands. And the root organization under Naruto's control has completely changed its style, which is why the root organization is so quiet. In the ramen shop, just as Naruto was enjoying the ramen, Shizune appeared behind him. Soon the celebrities were brought to Tsunade. Upon seeing Naruto, Tsunade directly smashed a punch on Naruto's head. "Ah, it hurts. Old woman, why did you beat me?" Quote, "What, calling me here is beating me?" Naruto complained, but Tsunade ignored his complaints. "Naruto, who let you mix with the root organization, don't you know that Danzo guy is dangerous? I order you to draw a line with them immediately." Tsunade was very worried that Naruto would be blinded by Danzo and do something he shouldn't. So for Naruto's sake, and for the safety of the village, Tsunade had to do it. However, just as Tsunade ordered Naruto to leave the root organization, Naruto shook his head. "Old woman, I won't be led by the nose by Tuan Zhang. Don't worry." Quote, "By the way, I was with them recently, in fact, to find out the intelligence of the root organization. Also, I've already convinced Danzo to give up the idea of being a Hokage. He also promised." Quote, "In the future, the root organization will work exclusively for the village, and there will definitely be no other thoughts." In order to dispel Tsunade's suspicions about the root organization, Naruto planned to pull the root organization from the darkness to the countertop. However, Tsunade was half convinced of Naruto's words. In her opinion, the old fox in Tuanzang was not so kind. "Naruto, you are an idiot, can you believe Danzo's words? In short, you are not allowed to interact with them again. By the way, next you guys continue to investigate the Great Snake Pill. Sakura got intelligence from the scorpion." Quote, Tsunade gave Naruto the content of the task as he spoke. And when Naruto saw that there was actually Captain Yamato on the mission list, he also immediately thought of another person. "Ahem, old woman, now that Kakashi-sensei is not there, there are few people in our squad. Well, in order for you to see the change in the root organization, how about I recommend someone from the root organization to join our squad?" Naruto looked at Tsunade as he spoke, and Tsunade was also a little hesitant. Obviously, if the root organization can really be more exposed to the public, it will be easier to control. Thinking of these Tsunade, he finally nodded. "All right, but I wouldn't believe them so easily." Quote, "I'll leave this to you. Later, you and Yamato will meet first, run in and go." Quote, coming out of Tsunade's office, Naruto's first thing was to rush to the headquarters of the root organization. In Naruto's opinion, the value of the root organization to Konoha was even comparable to that of the dark part. Therefore, Naruto hopes that through his own efforts, he will change the root organization into a strong team in Konoha. Before that, the most important thing is to gain Tsunade's trust, otherwise everything will be for nothing. Soon, when he returned to the headquarters of the root organization, Naruto immediately found Danzo. At this time, although Danzo was not suppressed by Naruto with Filthy Soil reincarnation, he was still under Naruto's control. Seeing Naruto, Danzo bent down slightly and looked very respectful. "Tuan Zhang, I know that the root organization has cultivated many killers over the years. In the future, I hope that all these killers can become Konoha's power, don't you object to this?" Naruto looked at Danzo and spoke, and after hearing Naruto's words, Danzo nodded slightly. "Of course, now the entire root organization is yours, including me. In the future, all of the root organization will be decided by you, and as for those people I have cultivated, they are all here." Danzo clapped his hands directly as he spoke, and soon saw that many ninjas immediately appeared in all directions, kneeling in front of Naruto in unison. Looking at these ninjas at the roots in front of him, Naruto couldn't help but search inside. However, even after searching everyone, I still didn't find the guy in my mind. So Naruto had to look at Danzo again, and then asked, "This isn't everyone in the root organization, is it? I remember there must be a guy named Sasui in the root organization. Where is he?" Quote, Naruto stared at Danzo, and at this moment Danzo finally remembered the emotionless machine. Upon hearing that it was him that Naruto was looking for, Danzo took Naruto to the prison of the root organization. The prison was very gloomy and the lights were very gray. By the time Naruto followed Danzo to a cell in the far corner, there was a man locked up inside. He's inside. This guy named Sasui doesn't have any feelings that humans should have. I'm going to use him as a dead man. Danzo stated the purpose of cultivating Sai. However, Naruto was actually disgusted by Danzo's purpose. When reading the original book before, Naruto felt that this guy named Sasui was pitiful. Not only can you not express your emotions, but you also have to be manipulated for life. Such a life is simply inferior to pigs and dogs. It's not that Naruto is kind, it's just that such a person really shouldn't be cultivated. A machine without feelings like this is not even as good as the puppet of the Red Sand Scorpion. You are not allowed to cultivate such people in the future. I hope that the people of the Root organization can live in the sun like the other ninjas in the village. And lift the ban on him. I'm going to take him out on a mission. Naruto glanced at Sai, who was curled up in the corner with an expressionless face, and then opened his mouth at Danzo. Seeing this, Tuanzo also released Sasui respectfully. In the future, you will follow Naruto-sama. His command is my order. Be absolutely obedient. Quote. When Danzo released Sasui, he couldn't help but remind him from the side. At this time, Sasui just nodded, still expressionless. Seeing this, Naruto didn't say much, and directly led him to the place where he met Captain Yamato. At this time, Captain Yamato and Sakura had been waiting for a long time. When Naruto appeared with Sai, both Captain Yamato and Sakura couldn't help but look at Sai. Is he from the Root organization? Captain Yamato asked. Apparently he was also very interested in the Root organization, which could not help but be the most mysterious organization in the village. His name is Sai. In the future, it will be our partner. Quote. Naruto spoke at Captain Yamato. And when Naruto finished introducing Sai, Captain Yamato introduced himself. Today is our first meeting, but I've already seen your information. Next, we are members of a squad. I hope to cooperate happily. Take more, Sakura. Captain Yamato said and held out a hand, and seeing this, Naruto and Sakura immediately clenched their fists and touched him. It was Sasui, who stood aside like a log at this time, without saying anything. Seeing this, Naruto opened his mouth at Sasui. Sai, in the future, you don't need to wait for orders to do things, you can do whatever you want. See what I mean? Naruto patted Sasui's shoulder, and at this moment Sai's eyes finally trembled a little. Soon, after everyone got to know each other, Naruto and Yamato also ran in. The main reason for this run-in is that everyone is familiar with each other's ninjutsu, so that they can cooperate with each other in the mission. And when Dai used the ninjutsu of the original purpose, Sakura couldn't help but widen her eyes. That's awesome. Captain Yamato actually uses the ninjutsu of the original purpose. Quote. Sakura obviously didn't expect that such ninjutsu could actually be used. However, just when Sakura was surprised, Naruto decisively used the ninjutsu he had chased Deidara. And this ninjutsu is even more powerful than Captain Yamato. It was also ninjutsu from the first generation Hokage, and even Captain Yamato couldn't help but be surprised. Take more, your ninjutsu seems to be even stronger than mine. Can you teach me? Yamato almost instantly became a fan at this time, which also made Naruto a little embarrassed. And what is even more amazing is actually Sai's ninjutsu. Seeing him used as a painting to use ninjutsu, Naruto couldn't help but envy. Sai, your ninjutsu is very elegant. Naruto praised. However, hearing Naruto's praise, Sasui just nodded and had no other reaction. Seeing that he was still a bit like an emotionless machine, Naruto couldn't help but shake his head. Okay, now that everyone has understood, we can go. This time our destination is the place where the Scorpion and the Hood joint. As long as you catch the pocket, you can find Orochimaru and bring Sasuke back. Captain Yamato said the content of the mission this time. And when Sakura heard the words brought back Sasuke, she was also immediately motivated. Naruto, on the other hand, did not have any waves in his heart. In his opinion, if the two pillars were so easy to find, there would be no Hokage. However, despite having a god's perspective, Naruto set off with Captain Yamato and them. This time the target was the Heaven and Earth Bridge, and when he reached the Heaven and Earth Bridge, Captain Yamato used ninjutsu to disguise himself as a scorpion. Just as Captain Yamato was waiting at the Heaven and Earth Bridge, the figure of the Medicine Master finally appeared. Looking at Yakushi from afar, Naruto and Sakura and Sasui were ready to strike at any time. However, just as Naruto and them were ready, the Yakushi on the opposite side was the first to attack Captain Yamato. Chapter 71. Seeing that Yakushi took the lead, Naruto and Sakura and Sasui immediately rushed out. Naruto knew very well in his heart that Yakushi's control over the Red Sand Scorpion had long been lifted by Orochimaru. Now he was just pretending, and just when Naruto and the others appeared, the medicine master couldn't help but sneer. Ha, it turned out to be Naruto-kun. Long time no see. Quote. I didn't expect to meet again. We really have a cause. Quote. As soon as Yakushi saw Naruto, he shifted all his gaze to Naruto. Since following the Great Snake Pill, the medicine master has obtained the true legend of the Great Snake Pill. Now he is very interested in Naruto and the Nine Tails, and he can't wait to capture Naruto back as an experiment. However, for Naruto's strength, Yakushi is still very clear. He wasn't stupid enough to think that he could beat Naruto. After all, even Orochimaru was not Naruto's opponent, and he couldn't help but measure himself. And just as Yakushi greeted Naruto, Sakura asked anxiously. Pocket, where did you hide Sasuke-kun? Quote, return Sasuke-kun. Sakura had been thinking about Sasuke in her heart, so she couldn't wait to take Yakushi down for interrogation. However, at this moment, Yakushi Pocket decisively chose to retreat, obviously not wanting to make a move with Naruto and them. And just as Yakushi was about to escape, Naruto had already turned on the domineering look. Soon, Naruto locked onto a figure hiding in the shadows not far away. So the next moment, Naruto rushed towards the figure for the first time. Orochimaru, since you are here, why hide and hide? Quote. When Naruto came to the front of the figure, he directly kicked it with the demon wind foot. The power of this kick even the big snake pill did not dare to underestimate. Soon, Orochimaru used a substitute technique and disappeared in place. When he appeared again, he was already standing with the medicine master. Gee, Naruto-kun, I really didn't expect you to become so strong. It seems that I have lost my eyes. The look in Orochimaru's eyes at Naruto was no longer the same as before. At this moment, Orochimaru was well aware of the gap between himself and Naruto. Whenever he remembered that he had never fought Naruto before joining forces with Danzo, Orochimaru became more cautious. In Orochimaru's opinion, all he had to do now was get Sasuke's body. Once you have Sasuke's body, then it will be possible to defeat Naruto at that time. At this time, when Orochimaru looked at Naruto with fear, Naruto directly used the Shadow Avatar. The next moment, without waiting for the big snake pill and the medicine master to react, countless spiral pills were thrown towards them. I have to say that after such a long period of practice in the Root organization, Naruto can now defeat the Great Snake Pill even with ninjutsu. At this time, feeling the change in Naruto's strength, Orochimaru felt more and more tricky. He didn't want to fight. After all, once it started, it was likely to be solved by Naruto himself. He didn't want to lose his life here, so he soon fled with the medicine man. However, how could Naruto let them go? Soon Naruto summoned the nine-tailed chakra cloak and chased after him at an alarming speed. Seeing that Naruto had been clenching tightly, Orochimaru could only stop and fight this way. Naruto-kun, it looks like you're going to have to catch me. Quote. In that case, let you see the new ninjutsu I developed. Orochimaru directly began to seal Naruto as he spoke. As the imprint was used by Orochimaru, several invisible walls soon appeared beside Naruto. The wall almost suddenly trapped Naruto inside. After trapping Naruto, Orochimaru also decisively released the poison towards the wall that trapped Naruto. As the purple toxin entered the space where Naruto was, Naruto couldn't help but frown. Hey, I have an armed color domineering protective body, and the chakra protection of the nine tails. This toxin is useless to me. Naruto threw a punch directly as he spoke. The next moment, I saw the sealing ninjutsu newly developed by Orochimaru, which was broken by Naruto almost instantly. Seeing this scene, even the pervert of Orochimaru called Naruto a pervert. You know, the strength of the big snake pill can reach the shadow level ninja. However, the strength of the shadow level ninja cannot compete with the current Naruto, which is simply outrageous. At this time, just when Orochimaru had a bad premonition, Naruto couldn't help but laugh. Okay, now it's my turn. As Naruto spoke, he also began to try to use the ninjutsu he had learned in the root organization. These ninjutsu have not been practiced since Naruto learned it, and Orochimaru is the best target. And just when Naruto summoned all the ninjutsu he had learned in the root to Orochimaru, Yakushi decisively fled. In the old nest of the big snake pill, when the medicine master went back, he found Sasuke for the first time. Seeing Sasuke's cold eyes, Yakushi couldn't help but say Naruto's current location. Sasuke-kun, aren't you trying to see how strong the direct one is now? Quote. Then go to the heaven and earth bridge. Naruto-kun is there. Quote. The medicine master looked at Sasuke after speaking, and at this moment Sasuke finally raised his head. The next moment he decisively disappeared in place. Obviously at the mention of Naruto, Sasuke could not bear the direct heart. In fact, when he left, he was jealous that Naruto's strength surpassed him. Now, with the help of the Great Snake Pill, he has finally gained great strength. So he really wanted to see who was the strongest between himself and Naruto. And just when Yakushi Pocket brought the news to Sasuke, who rushed to the battlefield, Orochimaru on the other side was ravaged by Naruto. I have to say that this kind of ninjutsu that Naruto has mastered now is so soft that even Orochimaru can't bear it. Ahem, how so? Quote, how can this guy's ninjutsu emerge endlessly, and they are all so proficient? When the big snake pill was kicked and flew again, he couldn't help but sigh. You must know that not long ago, Naruto's strength was not at all put in the eyes of the big snake pill. However, in this short period of time, Naruto actually grew to this point, which made Orochimaru extremely unbalanced. In order to become stronger, Orochimaru has spent a lot of thought on the development of ninjutsu over the years. Originally, the big snake pill thought that he was already powerful, but now it seems that this is not the case. At this time, facing Naruto's attack, Orochimaru could only dodge infinitely, embarrassed to the extreme. And just when Naruto turned on the mode of frantically killing Orochimaru, Sasuke finally arrived at the battlefield between the two. Standing outside the battlefield and watching Naruto's changes, Sasuke became more and more excited. Naruto, let me see if you are stronger or I am better. As Sasuke spoke, he pulled out the long knife at his waist, and then rushed towards Naruto and Orochimaru's battle circle. Naruto was not doing his best at this time, he was just testing his various ninjutsu. And such a test has already made the big snake pill unable to parry, and he is dodging everywhere. It was enough to see how hard Orochimaru was facing Naruto now. Just as Orochimaru struggled to dodge wave after wave of Naruto's attacks, Sasuke finally slashed at Naruto with a Kusanagi sword. Bang! The next moment, when Sasuke's grass pheasant sword slashed at Naruto, Naruto turned into smoke almost instantly. Shadow Doppelganger, how is this possible? Quote, seeing that what Sasuke had cut was only the Shadow Doppelganger, even Orochimaru felt incredible. You must know that Naruto's doppelganger before, but it made him suffer a lot. Now that he learned that the other party was just a doppelganger, Orochimaru's heart became more and more depressed. This guy, a doppelganger, can be so strong. What kind of monster is it? Quote, could it be that all this is the power of the Nine Tails? The only thing that Orochimaru could explain now was Naruto's use of the power of the Nine Tails. And just when Orochimaru and Sasuke were both a little puzzled, finally Naruto manifested himself. Sasuke, long time no see. Quote, as soon as Naruto appeared, he locked Sasuke, who was not far away. Sasuke at this time has grown a lot more than when he first left. However, when he saw Sasuke's eyes, Naruto was still very unhappy with him. Your annoying eyes have never changed. Naruto continued to speak, and at this moment, Sasuke on the opposite side couldn't help but snort coldly. HMPH. Naruto, I'm not who I used to be. Quote, today I will let you see the gap between us. In Sasuke's opinion, he was not idle at Orochimaru during this time. He had learned almost all of the skills of the Great Snake Pill. Even for the Big Snake Pill, the current Sasuke is no longer in his eyes. If it weren't for the fact that the Great Snake Pill was still somewhat useful, he would have killed the Great Snake Pill long ago. Of course, Orochimaru didn't know Sasuke's thoughts, and at this time, he was finally relieved to see that Sasuke helped him block Naruto. Sasuke, it's up to you. Quote, After Orochimaru finished speaking, he decisively fled with the help of ninjutsu. Seeing Orochimaru slip away, Naruto did not chase. In Naruto's opinion, Orochimaru was not worth mentioning at all, and now he could solve him at any time. It was Sasuke, who looked very arrogant now, which also aroused Naruto's interest. You must know that once when he was in the same class, Naruto was not less ridiculed by this guy. Now seeing that the other party wants to try with him again, Naruto is looking forward to it. Although before this, when Sasuke left, he had already taught Sasuke a lesson once. But that was a long time ago, and now Sasuke clearly felt that he had become stronger. And what Naruto had to do now was to let him reacquaint himself with the gap between the two. The gap, Sasuke, are you a little too confident? Quote, oh yes, it's indeed a gap, but it's the gap between you and me, not the gap between me and you. Let you see today, even if you don't go down the wrong path, you can become stronger. Naruto was now ready to teach Sasuke another lesson. But at this moment, the system prompt tone in my mind also suddenly sounded. Ding! Detected that the host is facing a choice. Quote, Option 1. Defeat Sasuke and make him understand the gap. Mission reward. 1 devil fruit. Option 2. Escape the battlefield and bow your head and admit defeat. Mission reward. 1 rotten egg. As the sound of the system sounded, Naruto couldn't help but have a black line on his face. Do you still need to choose this? Of course it's 1. Quote, I'm not a fool, you brain-dead system. Quote, after Naruto cursed a few words, he decisively locked his gaze on Sasuke. At this time, Sasuke had also opened his chakra eyes, and he looked much stronger than before. But what Sasuke didn't know was that when facing Uchiha Itachi, Naruto had already seen such a chakra eye. Even Uchiha Itachi's chakra eyes are stronger than Sasuke's. However, even so, Uchiha Itachi did not take the slightest advantage in Naruto, let alone Sasuke now. So just as Sasuke was using the Sharingan, Naruto had already opened the 8 doors done armor. Sasuke, next, I will defeat you with physical skills. Let you see what is the strongest. Naruto also made a statement at this time. After all, in his opinion, if he used ninjutsu, it would not be difficult. It's a physical skill, which can make Naruto have a good time. Recently, in the Root organization, Naruto has also learned a lot of physical arts. These physical techniques have now formed a whole system in Naruto's mind. And just when Naruto decided to use physical skills to solve the current Sasuke, Sasuke suddenly felt insulted. The next moment, Sasuke directly used the ability of the spell seal, and black lines immediately crawled all over his body. With the blessing of the spell seal, Sasuke's attack speed also suddenly increased. HMPH. The tail of the 10,000-year crane will only brag. Quote, physical skills. You don't really think that physical skills can beat me. Quote, Sasuke had already rushed to Naruto at this time, and then slashed at Naruto with a knife in his hand. As for Sasuke's other hand, I don't know when Chidori was ready, and pressed directly towards Naruto. Only when Sasuke thought that his attack was fast enough to solve Naruto, Naruto smiled. With the blessing of Yamen Dunja, Naruto's speed at which he looked at Sasuke was like watching slow motion. At this time, just as Sasuke pressed Chidori towards him, Naruto decisively used Armed Color Domineering. With the blessing of Armed Color Domineering, coupled with the power of the 8 doors of Dunja, Naruto kicked Sasuke's Chidori away with just 1 kick. The next moment, Naruto poured domineering energy into his fist, and then bombarded Sasuke's stomach with a punch. Lang Budding was hit by Naruto's punch. Sasuke suddenly felt cramping in his abdomen, and the whole person could not stand up. Fortunately, there was a grass pheasant sword in his hand, and he stood up hard in front of him. But Rao was so, cold sweat had broken out on his forehead. How is it possible? Can I be so embarrassed with just 1 punch? Quote, what kind of physical technique is this? Sasuke obviously couldn't understand how terrifying Naruto's physical skills were. You know, the strongest physical ninja is just like Matkai. But now Naruto gave Sasuke the feeling that he was 100 times stronger than Matkai. For such a gap, Sasuke, who was originally full of confidence and thought that he could defeat Naruto, doubted it again. Just when Sasuke's forehead was sweating from Naruto's physical beating, Naruto couldn't help but smile. How? Now aware of the gap between us. Quote, Urzuzi, you will never win me. Naruto couldn't get used to Sasuke's attitude that everyone else was a waste except himself. Now relying solely on physical skills, Sasuke is sweating all over his body, which has made Sasuke completely stunned. Originally, Sasuke thought that following the big snake pill could quickly improve his strength. And such an improvement is difficult for Naruto to achieve in this life, but now it seems that he thinks too much himself. Although his talent is amazing and he has the blessing of the family bloodline chakra, he is still no match for Naruto. At this moment, the more Sasuke thought about it, the more he felt unhappy, so he once again copied the Kusanagi sword and attacked Naruto. It's just that at this time, Sasuke has completely lost his inches, and Naruto has dodged his attack with just a few dodges. Now Naruto seemed to be teasing this Sasuke, which made Sasuke's heart gradually twisted. Sasuke-kun, stop it, quote, come back with us, please, quote. Just as Sasuke was struggling to attack Naruto, finally Sakura rushed over. Sakura had always hoped that Sasuke would return to the village. However, Sasuke paid no attention to Sakura's persuasion. Even after the attack on Naruto was dodged, Sasuke actually turned his attack on Sakura, who came to persuade her. As soon as the blow fell, just as the attack was about to land on Sakura, Naruto made a decisive move. Bite. Naruto just flicked lightly, and Sasuke's Kusanagi sword was finally ejected. Feeling the pain coming from his arm, Sasuke suddenly yelled at Naruto. Why? How so? Quote, if I can't even beat your 10,000-year-old crane tail, how can I beat that guy? How else am I going to take revenge? Sasuke thought of his various Uchiha Itachi, but what he didn't know was that Naruto had already fought Itachi. And in these few encounters, Uchiha Itachi did not take any advantage in Naruto's hands. Looking at Sasuke, who was a little crazy, Naruto was also a little angry at this time. Apparently this guy now has only hatred left in his heart, and he is simply useless. Naruto was tempted to go up and fan him awake, but it was useless. So Naruto planned to change his mind and let him completely blacken, maybe so that he could understand what was most precious. Revenge. With your strength, still thinking of revenge. Quote. Stop dreaming. You don't deserve it. Quote. Also, the strength of the weasel is much stronger than you better give up. Naruto deliberately stimulated this Sasuke's psychology, which could not help but make Sasuke more and more unbalanced. The next moment, I saw Sasuke suddenly use psychic, and then found a large snake. The large snake swallowed Sasuke almost instantly. Just like that, Sasuke disappeared without warning. Looking at Sasuke, who was taken away by the big snake, Naruto's eyes swayed slightly. Sakura still refused to let Sasuke leave, but her strength was completely unable to stop it. Naruto-kun, stop him quickly. Let him come back. Sakura begged Naruto to come at this time, but Naruto pushed Sakura away fiercely. Sakura, please wake up, okay. What if he returns to the village like this? Going back can only be a complaining waste. Quote. Might as well let him find the answer himself. Naruto finished saying and was about to leave, and at this moment, Sasuke's voice finally sounded in the sky. Naruto, we'll see you again someday. Quote. When the time comes, I will definitely be better than you. Sasuke's voice slowly dissipated into the air. Good, I'm waiting. Quote. Naruto knew that even if he was given 10,000 years, he would not be able to surpass himself. It may be possible to open the hang in the original book, but in this world, Naruto is the one who opens the hanging. Tenchi Bridge, this rushed side, completely made Sasuke realize the gap between him and Naruto. And after Sasuke and Orochimaru left, Sakura became silent. Captain Yamato originally came with a squad to deal with Orochimaru, but now it seems that it is no longer needed. So soon the four of them rushed back to Konoha village. This time back, Naruto's state of mind has also changed, and the most important thing he needs to worry about now should be the Shao organization. This organization is the one who threatens him the most, not Orochimaru. Now the big snake pill is no longer his opponent at all, but the Shao organization may hunt himself again at any time. Although Naruto is now very powerful, he still has to be very careful in the face of those who know the organization. Can't help but have a pain after they are being arrested, and pain's reincarnation is the most difficult problem. You still have to keep getting stronger. In the future, I will not only have to deal with the Shao organization, but also face Yuzebo. After Naruto returned to Konoha village, he began a new practice. During his practice, he did not forget to use the root organization and continued to collect intelligence about the Shao organization. Time passed like this, and just after Naruto finished another day of practice, he finally remembered the reward of the system. By the way, I forgot to see what kind of fruit that devil fruit is. As soon as Naruto returned home, he took out the devil fruit. Looking at the demon fruit, Naruto couldn't help but hesitate. The reason for hesitation was because there was no information on the devil fruit at all. So Naruto had no idea what kind of abilities this fruit could bring. If you want to know the power of the fruit, you must eat it. Thinking of this, Naruto gritted his teeth and directly swallowed the devil fruit. And at the moment when the celebrity swallowed the devil fruit, there were also a lot of lightning bolts on the body immediately. Feeling as if his body was suddenly electrocuted, Naruto couldn't help but tremble. Shish, the feeling just now was. Could it be that this is the thunder fruit? Naruto now had a guy named Analu in his mind. In the memory of his previous life, Analu was the owner of the thunder fruit. For the development of the thunder fruit, although Analu has not been developed to the extreme, it is already quite powerful. At this time, Naruto thought of this, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help but rise. Phew, try the power. Because Naruto already has a 3-color domineering, it is naturally convenient to use the thunder fruit again. The next moment, I saw Naruto decisively open the domineering look, and then lock the Hokage building. Rumble. Only listening to a loud noise, the roof of the Hokage building was instantly struck by a loud thunder. After the thunder, the lightning protection part of the Hokage building collapsed almost instantly. Seeing this scene, Naruto couldn't help but grin. However, the Hokage building was startled by this thunder. Tsunade, in particular, came to the roof of the building in person at this time, because someone was attacking Konoha village. Hehe, Tsunade old lady probably didn't think of it, I put the thunder on it. As Naruto spoke, he released several more thunderbolts at the designated location in the village. After the thunder, the destructive power was also particularly amazing, which instantly caused the ninja in the village to quickly attack. After briefly testing the ability of the thunder fruit, Naruto stopped messing around. He didn't want to be discovered, he made it himself. If it was known that he was setting off thunder in the village, he would have to be killed by Tsunade. In Naruto's opinion, although this thunder fruit is not the most powerful demon fruit, it is enough for the time being. As for whether other fruits can be used in the later stage, this depends on the system. Anyway, I have my own system, and I am not afraid that it will be wasted at that time. After gaining a new ability again, Naruto lay down on the bed satisfied and fell asleep. And just when Naruto was resting, because of the previous few thunderous things, Tsunade's decent ninja was busy all over the village. Just as the ninjas were mobilized to help repair the place where the thunder fell, several figures appeared in the cemetery. At this time, it happened that the cemetery was not guarded by ninjas, but it gave some people an opportunity. Hurry up and find the tomb of the 4th generation Hokage. Lord Orochimaru needs the body of the 4th generation of Hokage. Among the several figures, a leading man spoke. At this time, hearing the man's words, the others immediately took action. Soon, they found the grave of Shidame Hokage in the cemetery of Konoha village. And just as they were about to dig out the purpose of the 4th generation of Hokage, suddenly the seal above the tomb stopped them. These seals were left by Naruto when he used the dirt reincarnation to resurrect the 3 generations. At this moment, this seal is protecting the graves of the 4 generations of Hokage from being approached. Seeing that seal, several figures in front of the tomb couldn't help but frown. But soon they stood at the 4 corners of the seal and began to break the seal in front of them. This seal looks very powerful. But no matter how powerful it is, it can't compare to Lord Orochimaru. Quick, we don't have much time. Quote, several people reasonably destroyed the seal at this time, and under their full attack, the seal was soon broken. Just when the seal was broken, several people also quickly opened the tomb of the 4th generation Hokage. At this time, the body of the fourth generation of Hokage was buried in it, and seeing this, several people quickly got the body of the fourth generation Hokage out. The next moment, several people took advantage of no one to find out and directly left Konoha with the body of the fourth generation Hokage. And just when these people stole the body of the fourth generation Hokage, Naruto's side finally sensed that the seal was broken. What's going on? Naruto woke up from his sleep and felt something unusual in the seal he had left behind, and Naruto rushed out the door without hesitation. However, when Naruto crossed the streets and finally reached his destination, he found that the grave of the fourth generation had been dug up. Seeing that the body of the fourth generation of Hokage in the grave had disappeared, Naruto couldn't help but frown. Just when Naruto looked a little stunned at the purpose, finally the ninja from the village also rushed over. Even Tsunade was alarmed by this incident and came to check it out. Abominable! Who the hell dared to steal the body of the fourth generation of Hokage? Quote. Check it for me. Be sure to get the body of the fourth generation Hokage back. Quote. How can it make sense? Never let these guys go. Quote. As Tsunade spoke, he punched the pillar next to him, and the pillar collapsed in response, causing everyone to back away. I have to say that when Tsunade is angry, it is simply terrifying to death. And just as Tsunade ordered a thorough investigation, Naruto slowly walked in the direction outside the village. As he walked, Naruto spoke. Old lady Tsunade, leave this matter to me to handle. Dad's body is brought back by me. Naruto had already guessed who was behind it at this moment. The only person who can use the dirt reincarnation is now only Orochimaru besides Naruto. Obviously, in order to enhance his strength, the big snake pill would only target the corpse of the wave feng shui gate. It's just that he seems to ignore Naruto's feelings for his father. At this time, Naruto couldn't wait to beat the big snake pill well, only in this way could he dissipate his anger. Naruto, you can't leave the village alone. Quote, you know that the Shao organization has been eyeing you. Give me back. Tsunade obviously wouldn't let Naruto go alone to find the body of the fourth generation Hokage. However, just as Tsunade was about to drag Naruto back, Naruto's body erupted with an amazing chakra. Feeling Naruto Chakrari's anger, even Tsunade couldn't help but be stunned in place. In a few seconds, Naruto disappeared from everyone's view. And just as Naruto chased after the village alone, Tsunade finally reflected. Nope, Naruto must not be left in danger alone. Quote. Yamato, Sai, and Sakura, Hinata. You guys keep up. Quote. Can't Naruto understand something? At the moment, many ninjas in the village were not there, and Tsunade had to let the ninjas who had no mission follow Naruto. And after receiving Tsunade's order, Yamato and several people also immediately formed a squad and chased in the direction where Naruto disappeared. Outside the village, Naruto relied on some of the remaining aura from the body of the fourth generation Hokage and quickly found their way. At this moment, Naruto couldn't help but mobilize the chakra in his body and went straight to the direction where those people disappeared. And just as Naruto was chasing after those who had stolen the body of the wave feng shuiman, those people had already arrived at one of Orochimaru's lairs. Nests like this, Orochimaru doesn't know how many there are. At this time, in the lair, the few people saw the person sent by the big snake pill to connect with them. Yo, not bad. I actually brought back what Lord Orochimaru wanted. Quote. It seems that Lord Orochimaru created you, and you still have some use. Now that Konoha's people should have chased them, you guys go stop them. The person who came to the joint was none other than the medicine master. At this time, the medicine master decisively carried the body of the fourth generation of Hokage, and then disappeared into the depths of the lair. And after Yakushi left, the few people left the lair and walked in the direction Naruto was chasing. In the forest, Naruto's speed increased to the extreme. It didn't take long for him to find dirt that had fallen from the body of the fourth generation Hokage in a clearing. And just when Naruto wanted to continue the pursuit, several black shadows suddenly appeared in the surrounding trees. As soon as these people appeared, they immediately locked Naruto. What people? Naruto's sight was always on, and as soon as the men approached, Naruto spotted them. So soon Naruto looked towards the guys. Ha, solve yours. Boy, ready for hell. Quote, while several black shadows were talking, they finally jumped down from the tree. Through the faint moonlight, Naruto finally saw those people clearly. Sharingan, are you from the Uchiha clan? Naruto really didn't expect that these people were actually from the Uchiha clan. At this time, when Naruto saw that the other party's eyes were actually 3 Hokage chakra eyes, Naruto couldn't help frowning. In Naruto's impression, the Sengoatama Sharingan is not shared by all members of the Uchiha clan. People who have 3 Hokage chakra eyes are all people who can open kaleidoscope chakra eyes. This is a very powerful existence even in the history of the Uchiha family. However, at this moment, the people Naruto faced had 3 Jade Chakra eyes, which made Naruto very puzzled. But soon, Naruto also found something wrong with these people. Obviously, they don't seem to know the people of the Uchiha clan, except for the chakra eyes, they look strange. Even their bodies seem to be stitched together, and the scars look very obvious. And just as Naruto looked at the few people in front of him in doubt, one of them directly attacked Naruto. Seeing this, Naruto had to start fighting. However, just when Naruto thought that the other party's strength would not be too strong, the other party showed amazing combat effectiveness. Just the How Fireball technique they kept using had already overwhelmed Naruto. What's the matter? Their ninjutsu can be used without sealing. This speed is too fast. Naruto didn't expect these people in front of him to strike so quickly. It stands to reason that the use of ninjutsu must require a seal, but these people in front of them do not need it at all. Such a strange method, Naruto was still the first time he saw it. And just when Naruto managed to dodge their attack, he realized that it seemed that their 3 Hook Jade Chakra eye was helping. The 3 Jade Riding Wheel eyes were constantly rotating in their eyes at this time. With each spin, these people can use terrifying ninjutsu and attack Naruto. Fortunately, Naruto had seen and heard the domineering and could predict their attacks, so that he would not be hit. Ha, little ghost, will you only hide? It seems that Konoha's ninja are just like that. Seeing that their attack did not cause Naruto any damage, one of the guys spoke. And just as that guy's voice fell, I saw another one jump directly into the air. I'll use the illusion. Trap him. Quote, then you guys fix him. The man said as he began to use the Sengoatama Sharingan to launch an illusion attack on Naruto. Seeing that his companions were using illusions, several other people also cooperated. In an instant, Naruto was surrounded by them in the middle position. And just when the guy in the sky wanted to use illusion, I saw Naruto raise his hand slightly and a thunder fell instantly. The thunder was a little more powerful than Naruto's previous attempt in the village, and he shot down the guy in the air almost instantly. Naruto didn't spare the slightest bit of this blow, and the man's body was almost pierced by the thunder. But Rao was so, the guy was still not dead, and the next moment I saw him quickly get up from the ground. The moment he stood up, the wounds on his body healed quickly. Their bodies can actually heal. Quote, could it be that they are all corpses? A corpse reborn from dirt. Quote, Naruto knew very well that only people who were reborn after the rebirth of dirt could have such amazing recovery abilities. People who are reborn from filthy soil generally only have immortal laws that can cripple their bodies. However, at this moment, Naruto really didn't know anything about immortal law. But just when Naruto felt a little tricky, Yamato and Sakura finally arrived here. As soon as several people appeared, they immediately cooperated and locked several of them. Naruto, we're here to help you. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Sakura and Hinata spoke almost at the same time, and Naruto nodded slightly when he saw this. I'm okay, but these guys are weird. Be careful. Quote, their 3-hook jade riding wheel eye is very powerful. Naruto reminded Sakura of them, and Yamato couldn't help but be surprised when he learned that these guys all had 3-hook Tama chakra eyes. You must know that the Sharingan is only available to the Uchiha family, but the Uchiha family has long ceased to exist. Now known to be alive, only Uchiha Sasuke and Uchiha Itachi. In addition to these two people, there should no longer be a talent pair who has a chakra eye, let alone a 3-hook jade chakra eye. Weren't these guys killed by the weasels a long time ago? Captain Yamato looked shocked at this time. Apparently he knew very well how difficult the Uchiha clan was to deal with. And just when Captain Yamato looked puzzled, Naruto voiced his guess. They should have been made by the Great Snake Pill. I just went through a few tricks with them, and they have a strong ability to recover. So if you want to solve them, you can only rely on the seal. Naruto said how to deal with these guys, and at this time everyone also made a mistake. After all, among the people present, I am afraid that only Naruto and Captain Yamato are better at it. As for Sakura and Hinata, and Sai, they didn't know about sealing ninjutsu at all. That's okay, let's drag the others. Naruto, you and Captain Yamato are responsible for the seal. Sakura thought for a moment and finally came up with a solution. And after hearing her words, Hinata and Sasui also instantly entered a state of battle. That's it, but be careful, they are strong. Quote, in fact, if only Naruto was here, maybe he would have solved this matter more easily. But now that Sakura is there, many ninjutsu Naruto don't dare to use it indiscriminately. So at the moment, I can only follow Sakura's method. So soon Sakura and Hinata each faced an opponent. As for the remaining one, it was given to Naruto and Captain Yamato. At this time, Captain Yamato directly used Izuku, and then saw countless vines emerging from the ground. As soon as those vines appeared, they rushed towards one of the 3 Hokage chakras. The next moment, just when the guy wanted to escape, Captain Yamato directly entangled him with a speed. Naruto, it's now, seal him. Quote, Captain Yamato immediately called out after taking control of one of them. Seeing this, Naruto didn't talk nonsense, and directly used the gossip seal. But just when Naruto thought that he could easily seal the other party, he thought that the other party suddenly disappeared in place. Even Captain Yamato's vines didn't seem to be able to trap each other, which couldn't help but make Naruto and Captain Yamato wonder. How so? Captain Yamato frowned. That's not right. Several of them seem to be sharing pupil power. Quote, we must control them all and seal them together. Naruto directly used multiple shadow avatars as he spoke. At the same time, each avatar attached the overlord colored domineering, and then rushed towards those guys. Naruto wanted to use the human sea tactics to deal with these guys who were reborn in dirt. However, just when Naruto's multiple shadow doppelgangers rushed over, he didn't expect that those guys also used the shadow doppelgangers. For a while, there were hundreds of 3 Hokage chakra eyes around them instantly, and at the same time, they also shared pupil power. Facing such an opponent, even Naruto was a little helpless. Although Naruto's personal strength is very strong, he is still a little weak when facing such a filthy reincarnated guy. Naruto, I'll cooperate with you, I'll control their feet with a wooden dun. Then you lock them with your doppelganger. Seeing that Naruto was at odds with those doppelgangers, Captain Yamato finally made another move. This time, he took Mudun to the extreme, and almost instantly controlled the feet of those guys. Seeing this, Naruto decisively let the doppelganger rush forward. Sakura and they were not idle either, and at this time they also went up to help and find out the body. And when several ontology were found, those 3 Hokage riding wheel eyes turned into a burst of flying ash again. Because they were reborn bodies from dirt, they soon regrouped elsewhere. Seeing this scene, Yamato became more and more speechless. Nope, if it goes on like this, it won't seal them at all. Quote, no matter how we trap them, they will escape. Sakura opened her mouth helplessly at this time, and Hinata on the side was already tired. Obviously, this operation seems to be doing useless work. Seeing that several people were exhausted, Naruto had also lost patience. You must know that if it drags on like this, it is very likely that the body of Bo Feng Shui Men will be reborn by the big snake pill. Thinking that his father's body would be controlled by Orochimaru, Naruto finally became anxious. Nope, they must be stopped. Quote, Naruto rushed over again as he spoke, and this time Naruto no longer cared about it, and directly used the Thunder Fruit ability. The next moment, I saw that the thunder falling from the sky suddenly bombarded those guys who were reborn in filthy soil. And just as the thunder fruit bombarded them, those guys actually had a short pause. After capturing this faint message, Naruto suddenly seemed to understand something. It seems that the power of thunder and lightning can slow their healing. Captain Yamato, will you use Thunderbolt? Quote, Naruto looked at Yamato for the first time after discovering this secret. At this time, Yamato was still shocked by Naruto's previous Thunder Fruit ability. After hearing Naruto's words, he came back to his senses. Lei Duan's words, but understand a little. What's wrong? Yamato didn't quite understand what Naruto meant. And at this moment, Naruto finally pointed to the guys and spoke. They don't seem to have any defenses against lightning. In other words, lightning can cause them to have a short-term paralyzing effect. As long as enough lightning strikes on them, it may be possible to keep them in a state of irreparability. After Naruto's words, Yamato and the others immediately understood. However, it is a pity that among the several people present, only Naruto seems to be able to thunder and has the ability to sound thunder fruits. Others didn't know anything about Lei Dan, so they couldn't help at all. Seeing this, Naruto had to choose to deal with these guys himself. In that case, only I will give them a temporary paralyzing effect. Then you sealed it. Sasui, you will seal it, right? Since he came here, Sasui has always seemed like a little transparent. And when Naruto called out to him, he nodded. Okay, you cooperate with Captain Yamato, come and seal them. Sakura and Hinata, you retreat into the distance. I'm going to start amplifying my moves. Naruto jumped directly into the air as he spoke. And when Naruto jumped into the air, he saw Naruto's hands slightly open, floating like a god. The next moment, Naruto decisively mobilized the ability of the Thunder Fruit and smashed towards those guys who were reborn in filthy soil. At this moment, Sakura and the others also saw a scene that they had never seen in their lives. At this moment, I saw countless thunder and lightning falling from the sky, and the thunder and lightning were as thick as giant trees, which was simply terrifying. Come on, try my Thunder Fruit ability. Quote, as the thunder and lightning fell from the sky, Naruto pointed again, and saw that those thunder and lightning seemed to have life, and instantly smashed towards those people. The next moment, I saw that a deep pit struck by lightning immediately appeared on the ground around me. And those guys who were reborn in filthy soil were also hit by lightning in the deep pit at this moment, unable to move. It's now, Captain Yamato, seal, quote, Sai, Cell, quote. Naruto saw that the men had been smashed into the pit, so he commanded Captain Yamato. Seeing this, Captain Yamato and Sai immediately took action. Soon, with the cooperation of Captain Yamato and Sai, one after another the guys who were reborn in filthy soil were sealed. It wasn't until the last guy was sealed that Naruto collected his Thunder Fruit ability. However, even if Naruto put away the ability of the Thunder Fruit, Sakura and the others still couldn't believe it. That thunder and lightning just now, Naruto really made it by you. It's terrible, quote. Yes, how did you do it? I remember that even Lei Dan couldn't do such a big thunderbolt. Quote. Sakura and Hinata were puzzled, but they also adored Naruto. After all, such a trick, even the entire Hokage village is estimated to be used by no one. Even the second-generation Hokage, who is the best at ninjutsu, is estimated to be unable to do this. And just as Sakura and Hinata looked at Naruto with some adoration, Yamato also spoke on the side. If I'm not mistaken, you made several thunderbolts in the village last night, Naruto-kun. I don't know how Tsunade-sama will react when he finds out. Yamato looked at Naruto, and Naruto's forehead was immediately covered with black lines. Haha, Captain Yamato will keep it a secret for me, right? What, let's go get my dad's body back first. Naruto snorted, and then rushed directly towards the lair of the big snake pill in the distance. Behind him, Captain Yamato shook his head helplessly, and then immediately chased after them with Sakura. Inside the big snake pill's lair, the medicine master at this moment was placing the body of Bofeng Shuimen on a stone platform. After he put the body away, Orochimaru finally came out of the darkness. Wave Feng Shuimen, 4 generations of fire shadow, the legendary golden flash. With his words, my combat power will become stronger. Maybe then you won't have to worry about that Naruto anymore. Quote. The big snake pill was a little excited at this time, and when he thought that he could improve his strength, he couldn't wait to start reincarnating in the dirt immediately. However, just as Orochimaru was preparing for the soil rebirth ceremony, Naruto's voice came in from outside. Orochimaru, get me out. Quote. Naruto's voice penetrated the entire corridor, and when Orochimaru heard it, he immediately frowned. Orochimaru knew better than anyone that Naruto was very strong now, and even he was helpless. If Naruto found here, then today's rebirth of dirt would not be completed. Thinking of this, the big snake pill winked at the medicine master. The medicine master immediately understood at this time, and then turned and left the secret room. In the corridor, Naruto was still searching in a secret room. Looking at the secret rooms on both sides, Naruto knew that these were all used by the large snake pill for experiments. At this moment, he was very worried that the body of the fourth generation purpose would be resurrected by the great snake pill through the rebirth of the soil. The ninjutsu mastered by the fourth generation of Mekage Huo-ying includes the sealing technique, and it is not good once the big snake pill fights his mind. In the original work, the fourth generation was resurrected only when the ninja world fought with Uchiha in the later period. At that time, the big snake pill was about to be whitewashed, but now the big snake pill is different. Now Naruto is facing this big snake pill, but a ruthless character. Once he gains great power, then Naruto is bound to be his next experimental target. Who let Naruto show great strength in front of him these times? A pervert like Orochimaru likes Naruto and Sasuke with such excellent bodies. Now that Sasuke had stayed with him, it was only a matter of time before he hadn't taken Sasuke's body yet. As for Naruto, once it falls into his hands, he will probably be pulled away from the Nine Tails. At that time, the big snake pill will not be surprised to do anything. Thinking of this, Naruto felt that he had to stop the reincarnation of Orochimaru for the purpose of the fourth generation. However, while Naruto was searching for the big snake pill in the secret room one by one, Yakushi was secretly acting. In order to ensure the smooth completion of the rebirth of the great snake pill's filthy soil, the medicine master began to take the masterpiece of the great snake pill to the scene at this moment. Hey, Naruto, the first few times you took advantage of me a lot, this time I let you return it. At this time, the medicine master swallowed a large snake pill research drug. When the drug was ingested, the medicine master's pupils opened up in an instant. At the same time, the medicine master's body also trembled constantly, looking very scary. In this way, I don't know how long he experienced trembling, and the size of the medicine master pocket instantly became several times larger. In addition, the aura on the medicine master's body at this moment is also much stronger. Lord Orochimaru's medicine is really powerful. I am full of strength in my body now. Quote. The medicine master disappeared in place as he spoke. I have to say that as the most perverted existence in the Hokage, the things he studied were not simple. In the original work, Orochimaru even clones an army of the Uchiha clan. In addition, the big snake pill in the original book also developed mecha in the later stage, and those mecha can actually send out attacks similar to ninjutsu. But fortunately, the big snake pill is not studying in that direction now, but Rao is so, and the medicine he gives the master is not simple. At this time, after taking the medicine of the big snake pill, the medicine master was more than 100 times stronger in both speed and strength. If the medicine master pocket used to be just a middle ninja to the upper level, then now, with the blessing of the drug, the strength of the medicine master pocket still exceeds many upper patients. Of course, with such strength, it was not enough to compete with Naruto, so Yakushi also released other monsters cultivated by Orochimaru. Over the years, the big snake pill has searched almost all the major ninja villages. Therefore, many people like the blood succession limit realm were brought to his lair by the great snake pill for research. After these people lose the value of their research, they will be made into weapons by the great snake pill. At this moment, Yakushi Pocket was planning to use these guys and himself to block Naruto together. Soon in the dark corridor, just as Naruto was about to find the end, the medicine master pocket finally emerged from the darkness. At this time, even the tongue of the medicine master has turned into a snake, which is very similar to the immortalized pocket in the original work. Shish, Naruto, see you again. Quote, Lord Orochimaru ordered me to stop you, and the account between us should be settled. The medicine man's snake-like tongue kept spitting back and forth, looking extremely terrifying. If Naruto hadn't seen the market, he might have been taken aback by him. Looking at the medicine master from a distance at this time, Naruto couldn't help frowning. Gee, in order to defeat me, did you not hesitate to become this person who is not a ghost or a ghost? It seems that you are also quite paranoid. But I don't have time to waste with you. Quote, quickly tell me where the big snake pill is, and the body of the fourth generation purpose. Naruto was too lazy to waste time with this madman Yakushi, and at the moment he was more worried about Shadai's body. If you are really reborn from the soil, then it will be too late. However, for Naruto's contempt, Yakushi became angry again. HMPH, you still don't want to open your eyes to see me. Quote, I've worked so hard. Why is everyone when I'm a little transparent? Quote, I'm going to let you taste my power today. The medicine master suddenly disappeared in place as he spoke. The next moment, just as Naruto frowned, Yakushi had already arrived behind him. Fortunately, Naruto had seen the domineering protective body, so when the medicine master punched him, he hurriedly dodged the past. However, despite dodging the past, Naruto's face was still bruised by the medicine master. Previously, because the medicine master was too fast, Naruto did not have time to turn on the armed color domineering. This gave the medicine master an opportunity to hurt his face. You guy, it's really annoying. Quote, I'm too lazy to pay attention to you. Naruto didn't want to waste time here at all, so he was ready to solve the medicine pocket as soon as possible. However, just as Naruto was about to strike at the medicine master, Yamato's figure behind him slowly appeared. Naruto-kun, we're here to help you, Sakura said to Naruto, and Hinata and Sasui behind her had also entered battle mode. As for Yamato, as soon as he appeared, he used a wooden dun towards the medicine master's pocket. At this moment, the whole person of the medicine master was entangled with the vines made by Yamato Mudu, living like a mummy. Naruto, leave it to us here. You go and find the 4th generation purpose body. Captain Yamato waved at Naruto after taking control of the medicine master's pocket, who had already taken the drug. Although Naruto was a little worried about Captain Yamato at this time, they were not Yakushi's opponents, but they still chose to continue walking. In Naruto's opinion, even if Captain Yamato can't get the somewhat perverted medicine master pocket now, it shouldn't be a problem to hold back. So after glancing at a few more companions, Naruto ran towards the deeper chamber. However, just as Naruto threw off the medicine man's pocket, a figure appeared again in the deeper darkness. As soon as Naruto saw the figure in the darkness, he had to tread carefully. He didn't want to fall into the trap of the big snake pill again and waste more time. However, just when Naruto was looking at the figure not far away, ready to strike at any time, a white thorn suddenly rushed out under Naruto's feet. The white thorn suddenly appeared from the ground like bamboo shoots, which immediately caught Naruto a little off guard. Fortunately, Naruto turned on the armed color domineering at the beginning, so that he would not be injured. However, Rao was so, Naruto was also shocked by the white thorns that suddenly appeared on the ground at this moment. This is bones. After Naruto took a closer look at those white thorns, he couldn't help but gasp. Apparently, these white thorns seemed to be made of human bones. The bone spurs of so many people came out of the ground and attacked directly, which immediately made Naruto a little creepy. And just when Naruto was attached to the corridor with his chakra at this time, his head hanging down, footsteps not far away came again. Following the footsteps, Naruto saw a white-haired boy appear in his field of vision for the first time. When Naruto saw the appearance of the white-haired boy, a name suddenly appeared in his mind. Junmaru. Wasn't he solved by my Iroh a long time ago? Quote, could it be the rebirth of the filthy soil of the great snake pill again? Naruto recognized the man's identity, but just as Naruto thought it was Junmaru who had been reborn from dirt, someone continued to appear behind him. When Naruto saw clearly through the faint light, Naruto couldn't help but show a shocked expression. How can there be so many Junmaru? Multiple shadow doppelgangers. Naruto looked closely, and there seemed to be a legion behind Junmaru. Seeing that they all looked exactly the same, Naruto's first thought was the shadow doppelganger. However, these Junmaru are obviously not doppelgangers, which can be seen from the look in their eyes. This guy of the big snake pill, what kind of technology and ruthlessness can really be? To come up with such a Junmaru legion, is this an attempt to use the tactics of the Sea of People? Naruto knew Junmaru's strength. He was the owner of the Kagaya clan's bone-blood succession realm. As the last member of the Kagaya clan, Junmaru's end was indeed a bit miserable. But at the moment, Naruto didn't have the heart to sympathize with this guy, because when Naruto saw the corpse bone legion formed by Junmaru, he saw that Junmaru was slowly releasing bone spurs from his body. The bone spurs slowly twisted together in midair, and then formed an even larger bone sword. When the bone sword was formed, I saw that the Junmaru below began to seal neatly. As the seal was completed, the huge bone sword suddenly stabbed towards Naruto. Naruto kept dodging when he saw this, but the huge bone sword was amazingly fast. And on that huge bone sword, there are also some weird chakras. I don't know why, as soon as he touched the chakra, Naruto always had a feeling of being suppressed. In fact, what Naruto didn't know was that this was developed by Orochimaru a long time ago to specifically suppress the toxins of other chakras. With this toxin, as soon as it is hit, the chakra in the body will immediately lose its effect. In this way, for a ninja, it is basically equivalent to waste. How can this guy of the big snake pill think of any trick? Quote, Naruto couldn't help but frown after figuring out the capabilities of this corpse vein legion in front of him. And just when Naruto looked sad, those Junmaro corpse bone legions were still increasing. Even at this time, the entire corridor was already filled with corpse bone legions. It was simply impossible to think about the past, and Naruto finally became angry when he saw this scene. Abominable. Since you don't let it, then burn it. Quote, How fireball technique. Naruto's hands were sealed, and the art of the fireball was used instantly. However, the flames caused by the How fireball technique did not seem to have any effect at all. Although those Junmaru corpse bone vein legions had been burned off their flesh and skin, their blood succession limit corpse bone veins were extremely hard. At this time, I only saw that in the corridor, after the How fireball, there were rows of white bones. After these white bones are without flesh and blood, they are more convenient to combine together. For a while, I saw those guys from the Junmaru corpse bone legion directly gathering all the bones together. The next moment, a huge bone snake composed of human bones was rushing at Naruto, ready to attack at any time. Nope, no more time to waste. Quote, Naruto saw that he was blocked by the Junmaro corpse bone legion and could not advance, and he couldn't help but get anxious. So after a brief thought, Naruto decisively used the multiple shadow doppelgangers he was best at. When multiple shadow doppelgangers appeared, Naruto decisively attached domineering to each doppelganger. After doing all this, Naruto made all the doppelgangers start rubbing the big jade spiral pill. As the great jade spiral pill gradually formed, Naruto used the ability of the thunder fruit to thunder and thundered forward first. In this way, along with a series of attacks, the Junmaru corpse bone legion soon fell into a brief paralysis. It's now, Daitama spiral pill. As Naruto spoke, he threw all the piles of large jade spiral pills towards the Junmaru corpse bone legion. And at this moment, I saw that the Junmaru corpse bone legion finally fought back again. At this time, I saw that those bones instantly turned into a bone shield, forcibly blocking Naruto's big jade spiral pill. However, just when the Junmaru corpse bone vein legion forcibly took down the great jade spiral pill, one of Naruto's doppelgangers had already slipped over. It turned out that all the previous attacks were actually used by Naruto to feint. The purpose is to let one of his doppelgangers escape. In Naruto's opinion, as long as there is a doppelganger that can pass, then his own body can be exchanged with the doppelganger. In this way, there is no need to continue to entangle with the Junmaru corpse bone legion. I have to say that Naruto's method really worked, and soon he fled. And after escaping the Junmaro corpse bone legion, Naruto finally found the secret room of Orochimaru in the deepest part of the lair corridor. At this time, the big snake pill was carrying out the final step of rebirth in front of the fourth generation. Seeing that his filthy soil rebirth was about to succeed, the big snake pill couldn't help but show a smile on his face. However, just when Orochimaru was complacent, Naruto's doppelganger finally summoned the body. The next moment, Naruto directly opened the domineering and 8-door Dunjia, and kicked fiercely towards the head of the big snake pill. Orochimaru, you guy, take your life. Quote, Naruto gathered all the anger in his heart on this foot. If he was really hit by Naruto's kick, even if Orochimaru was strong, he would probably die on the spot. Feeling Naruto's attack approaching, Orochimaru finally mysteriously disappeared in place. Naruto's blow was considered to have kicked into the air, and by the time Naruto landed, Orochimaru had already climbed the pillar next to him. At this time, the body of the big snake pill is soft like a snake, and the skin is hung with mucus, which is really disgusting to watch. Naruto, you guy, spoiled my good deeds again. Quote, It seems that you should not have been left with your life when you were weak. Orochimaru obviously regretted it, but it was too late to say anything. The current Naruto's strength is stronger than the big snake pill, and it is not worth it to carry the big snake pill head on. It was Orochimaru, and after fighting Naruto several times, he became more and more afraid of this guy in front of him. Oh, isn't it too late to regret it now? Big snake pill, in fact, I left my hand before. I just don't want you to die so soon. You are still useful to me. Quote. Otherwise, you would have gone to the grave a long time ago. The reason why Naruto has never killed Orochimaru is of course because he is afraid of changing too much of the plot. Once Orochimaru dies, the plot is affected, and everything becomes uncontrollable. Naruto originally relied on the advantage of understanding the plot to slowly develop. So Naruto also had to deal with it cautiously and carefully. However, Naruto at this moment is actually not too worried about the change of the plot. After all, with the help of the system, Naruto has grown. And with Naruto's current strength, it is enough to deal with most of the enemies. Of course, in addition to the Shao organization, after all, there is the old guy of Uchiha in the Shao organization. That old fellow's combat power was not comparable to ordinary people, and Naruto had to be careful. Haha, you're really crazy. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? Don't be naive, Orochimaru said at this time as he began to seal his print. Looking at what terrible tricks the big snake pill seemed to use, Naruto's three-color domineering was opened for the first time. At the same time, the chakra cloak of the Nine Tails was also summoned at the first time. Naruto knew that he had to be very cautious in the face of a scheming ninja like Orochimaru, so he had no reservations at the moment. And just when Naruto was fully prepared, two coffins suddenly appeared on the ground next to him. As the lid of the coffin was opened, I saw that the first generation Hokage and the second generation Hokage were suddenly summoned. This time, Orochimaru became smarter than before, and did not suppress the feelings of the two Hokage. Just let the two of them deal with Naruto when they can be controlled just right. Naruto couldn't help but frown when he saw this, although Naruto was now very strong and could fully reach the strength of Sharingan. But when facing these two shadow-level masters, Naruto still had no chance of victory. I can't help but let these two be legendary beings in the ninja world, and neither of them is easy to mess with. So in order to deal with these two, Naruto had to summon the three generations with dirt reincarnation. The third generation could not help but sigh when he saw the first and second generations at this time. Alas, Naruto, you also think too highly of me. If these two are not suppressed, their strength is completely above me. The third generation was a little helpless, and at this time, the first and second generations on the opposite side were obviously a little reluctant. But although they don't want to make a move on their acquaintances, they have no choice. Sunchop, sorry, we can only do it to you. Quote, Ichimaku said to the ape-flying sun, and at this time, the second generation was trying to lift the rebirth of the soil. It's just that he tried several times without success, and finally had no choice but to give up. Ha, don't bother, Naruto and Sandaime will be left to you to deal with. Quote, I have more important things to do. At this time, the big snake pill walked towards the body of the fourth generation again. Seeing this, Naruto had the intention to step forward to block it, but in the end he was stopped by the second generation Hokage. Boy, although I don't know you, it's really good that you can do this. But then, you have to be careful, because there are no flaws in ninjutsu. The second generation Hokage was a genius, and at this time he had already launched an attack on Naruto. On the other side, the first generation of Hokage and the third generation of Hokage also coped, and in an instant, the entire secret room was in a state of falling apart. In order not to affect his filthy soil rebirth, the great snake pill decisively put his and the fourth generation's body into the seal at this time. Seeing this scene, Naruto became anxious again. Boy, don't be distracted. Water escape, water dragon bomb. Quote. Just when Naruto was in a hurry, the attack of the second generation purpose suddenly fell. Naruto was caught off guard and was knocked out. Fortunately, there is a domineering protective body on the body, as well as the protection of Chakra's coat, so as not to be injured. But even so, Naruto felt pain all over his body. No, if it goes on like this, there will definitely be no way to stop the big snake pill. You have to think of a way. Naruto knew that he was no match for the second Hokage, so he had to reconsider. Even the Nine Tails, who had been sleeping in his body, was summoned by Naruto at this time. Boy, the second generation is not easy to deal with. Quote, with my current state, there is no chance of victory. Because the Nine Tails are in a sealed state, even if they join forces with Naruto, they can't beat the second generation. Hearing the words of the Nine Tails, how could Naruto not know? It's just that now there is no better way, so I can only drag it out for the time being. On the other side, the Great Snake Pill had already put a spell into the body of the fourth generation purpose at this time. Next, as soon as he finished sealing, the Dirt Rebirth technique was officially completed. Once the Dirt Rebirth technique is completed, then the fourth generation will be completely controlled by the Great Snake Pill. By then, Naruto probably won't have any chance of victory. Thinking of this, Naruto couldn't help but get anxious. And just when Naruto was in a hurry, the voice of the system in his head suddenly sounded. Ding! Detected that the host is facing a choice. Quote, Option 1. Defeat the second generation Hokage. Mission reward. Multiply the detonator charm. Option 2. Give up resistance. Mission reward. Golden Horn Silver Horn. As the prompt in his mind sounded, Naruto's heart suddenly clicked. What's going on? Is the system reward so abnormal this time? Quote, how is it better to give up the reward than to continue? Could it be that the system also knows that I can't do the second generation and deliberately releases water to me? What kind of demon is this? Quote, Naruto couldn't help but feel a little surprised at this time. Obviously, this time the system reward was beyond his expectations. The Mutual Multiplication Detonation Charm is a super ninjutsu for the second generation, which is very good. But compared to the second one, that's far from it. Golden Horn Silver Horn. What a lifelong enemy of the second generation. Quote, speaking of the Golden Horn and Silver Horn, these two are the elites of the famous cloud-hidden village of the Thunder Country. At that time, it was also a big nightmare for the second generation Hokage, and the second generation of Hokage died at their hands. In the original book, these two guys were resurrected by Uchiha and used to replace the Nine Tails. The reason why these two guys can replace the Nine Tails is because these two obtained the Nine Tails chakra by eating the flesh and blood of the Nine Tails. And the ninja weapons in the hands of these two guys are also very special, and each one is a big killing weapon. At the same time, they also have the blood of the six immortals, which can be said to be a very special existence. Naruto couldn't wait to get these two guys right away at the moment, after all, only they could stop the second generation Hokage. Thinking of this, I saw that Naruto decisively chose two in his mind. After Naruto made his choice, the reward was also immediately sent. The corpse of the Golden Horn and Silver Horn, the soil is reborn. Almost instantly, Naruto summoned the Golden Horn and Silver Horn with the rebirth of dirt. Because he was not familiar with these two guys, Naruto was afraid that he would not be able to control them, so he only left a little affection. And when Naruto summoned the Golden Horn and the Silver Horn, the second generation Hokage couldn't help but widen his eyes. Where is this? How did we end up here? Quote, the devil knows what's going on. Hey, isn't that guy the second generation Hokage, the defeated subordinate? Quote, wasn't he killed by us? How is it still alive? Quote, no, aren't we dead? How did it come back to life again? Quote, as soon as the Golden Horn and Silver Horn appeared, he looked puzzled. And at this moment, the second generation Hokage couldn't help but get angry. Obviously, being killed by these two guys because of carelessness was the biggest shame of the second generation Hokage. At this moment, he can't wait to have a good fight with the two guys in front of him again. Seeing that the second generation Hokage was attracted by the Golden Horn and Silver Horn at this moment, Naruto couldn't help but snicker. Hey, Golden Horn and Silver Horn, the second generation is handed over to you. You are summoned by me, you must behave well. Naruto commanded the Golden Horn and Silver Horn to people, but at this time, after hearing Naruto's words, the Golden Horn Silver Horn couldn't help but roll his eyes. Little ghost, who do you think you are and dare to order us? Quote, look, I won't kill you. Golden Horn was about to make a move as he spoke, but then he found that he couldn't do anything to Naruto. Seeing this, the silver horn on the side couldn't help but sigh and said, "Alas, can't you see that we were reborn from filthy soil?" Quote, "What a shame. I actually hit that second generation Hokage's ninjutsu." Quote, "Forget it, there is no way to resist anyway, it's better to have fun with the second generation Hokage. Golden Horn, let's go on." The silver horn greeted the golden horn at this time, and rushed towards the second generation Hokage together. Seeing that the second generation Hokage could no longer influence himself, Naruto breathed a sigh of relief. On the other side, the first generation is being entangled by the 3 generations of Hokage, and the two may not be able to distinguish the victory or defeat for a while. So seeing this opportunity, Naruto decisively broke the enchantment of the big snake pill and rushed in. At this time, Orochimaru was still sealed, but Naruto did not let him control the 4th generation of Hokage. "Isn't it just rebirth of dirt? I will too." Quote, Naruto knew that there was no way to interrupt Orochimaru at this time. Once forcibly interrupted, the body of the 4th generation purpose will also be destroyed. So at this moment, Naruto planned to use the dirt reincarnation to compete with Orochimaru. Anyway, both of them will use dirt rebirth, it depends on who can establish contact with the 4th generation first. As he spoke, Naruto began to make prints, and Naruto's speed of making prints was obviously much faster than Orochimaru. By the time the two of them were sealed, the souls of the 4th generation of Hokage also began to be pulled by the two of them. "Shadaime, come to me, become my puppet." Quote, the great snake pill summoner 4 generations Hokage. And just as Orochimaru was trying to establish a contract with the body of the 4th generation first, Naruto also spoke. "Dad, it's me. I'm Naruto. Come to me." Quote, "Don't go to the big snake pill." Naruto was trying to wake him up at the moment with his affection with Shadaime. And just as Naruto's voice reached the ears of Shadaime's soul, Shadaime finally turned his head. "Naruto, is it really you?" Quote, "You've really grown up. It seems to be growing according to my expectations." Quote, "Your mother Shin Kunai would be happier if she found out." Shadai Hokage showed a kind smile at this time, and when he looked at Naruto, his eyes were full of fatherly love. However, just as Shadaime was about to slowly approach Naruto, there seemed to be a force pulling at him on the other side. "Shadaime, come to me, I am your master." Because the great snake pill took the lead in planting the talisman seal in the body of the 4th generation, he had a certain control over the body of the 4th generation. Although Naruto tried his best to establish contact with the Shadaime through the power of the reincarnation of the soil, he was obviously much more suffering than Orochimaru. However, just as Naruto watched as Shadaime began to lean towards Orochimaru, the voice of the 9 tails sounded. It turned out that when the 4th generation was sealing the 9 tails, he only sealed half of it. The other half has always been in the body of the 4th generation, and at this moment, with the appearance of the 9-tailed chakra, the 4th generation suddenly resonated. So soon he saw 2 powerful 9-tailed chakras begin to pull each other. "Well done, 9 llamas. Keep it up." Quote, seeing that the 9 tails were also helping to pull back the 4th generation, Naruto couldn't help but be happy. However, it is not so simple to pull the 4th generation to himself. And this is also a very consuming thing for chakra, and it didn't take long for Naruto to rush to the chakra in his body and pass by. The same is true of the big snake pill on the opposite side, but the celebrity is stronger because of the blessing of the 9 tails. No, if it goes on like this, chakra won't be enough. Yes, try it with your mother's bloodline. Naruto thought of his mother's bloodline at this time, that is, the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan. So soon I saw Naruto bite his finger and spill blood on chakra. And when Naruto's blood dripped on chakra, sure enough, Shadaime reacted. The next moment, I saw Shadaime break free from the shackles of the big snake pill with a speed visible to the naked eye, and went straight to Naruto. Seeing this, Naruto decisively completed the art of reincarnation of dirt at the last moment. And when the art of soil rebirth was completed, the body of the 4th generation of Mu Huo Ying finally dissipated. Phew, was it successful? Quote, "Dad, come out." Naruto attempted to summon the 4th generation of Hokage with the dirt reincarnation. Although Naruto didn't want to do this at first, he had to do so in order not to let the fourth-generation Hokage fall into the hands of Orochimaru. At this time, under Naruto's cold drink, the coffin of the fourth generation slowly emerged from the ground. Seeing this scene, the big snake pill not far away was almost half dead. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.